Hey everybody, this is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. And hold on, I'm gonna stop the audio on the playback. This is Kyle, aka Vulcan Wolverine. And it is. No, I can't pause it. Okay, got it. Hey guys, it's about 6:12 a.m. in the morning, and I woke up last night at like 3 a.m. I've got to stay up because I have like a psychiatrist appointment at 1:30. Not sure how many people are going to be in chat, but I thought I'd just do a live stream because Stacy sent me some info, and then I saw some videos by Brian Two and Targeted in Minnesota, and they're talking about a solution that I think is really, really good to, another solution to add to our very many options that we have. So it's very hopeful. I think this is a very important one. Somebody had told me about it, I guess about probably a couple months ago. Charles Hall had told me about it, but I just hadn't gotten around to getting a pair. But I wanted to talk about the bone conduction headphones and show Brian Two's video and show Targeted Minnesota's video. And hey, Future Knowledge. Future Knowledge says hello, Kyle, and everyone else. Are you doing okay, Future Knowledge? I think we should try these bone conduction headphones. It makes a lot of sense to me, and some people had told me about them before, but I never got around to getting them. I was working on, other stuff, my lead cap, ZBS driver, but I should have gotten these a while back. Samsonite said, Robert Duncan said something similar about bone conduction headphones. That's who I'm pretty sure. Brian says that a neuroscientist told him that the bone conduction headphones can defeat mind control technologies after 180 days. I think it can give relief, before then. But I'm pretty sure, he didn't say who gave him that information, but I'm pretty sure it was probably Robert Duncan who let Brian. I'm not sure though. If Brian didn't want to say who he got the information from, I don't know. I don't know either. But I want to show Brian's video, and then I want to show Targeted in Minnesota's video too, and then I want to show you guys kind of the kind that I found, because I'm questioning whether I should get the headphones that are wired that I can plug in, or if I should get wireless. I'm a little bit skeptical of getting stuff that's wireless, because that means it has a transceiver in it, and that transceiver can be used to, send signals over the skin to the vestibular system, to the brain. Hey Autumn, and hey PA, and a lot of people are up. And hey Cheryl. Future Knowledge says I'm doing okay right now. Still going to try it though. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm not dealing with massive amounts of pain, but I'm still dealing with V2K, still dealing with R&M, and I've been dealing with a lot of these feelings like fight or flight feelings, but then I don't really enjoy doing anything or going anywhere. And yesterday, what I did is I took I don't take my thyroid supplement a lot. And I took my thyroid supplement, and I found myself calming down a whole bunch. And so I think that my attackers, I've attenuated a lot of this stuff with Dave Case's CD, lead cap, the ZVS driver, but I think they don't have to have a lot of power to remote neural manipulate and manipulate your thyroid. So I think the thyroid is super important. If we can get a thyroid supplement, I think you're going to see your mood picks up, in that fight or flight feeling that kind of feels like just fear all the time, or just a bad feeling all the time, not really fear. I think if we use a thyroid supplement, it can reduce that a lot. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take my thyroid supplement. And hey Tanya, and I think I said hello to everybody. Yeah, so I'm doing so. Like, I'm not dealing with like pain where I'm like, I just want to freaking die, but it's still annoying. I'm still fatigued. I've been watching a lot of Joel Osteen videos and trying to pick myself up, because God does have this. God has some solutions in store that we couldn't see coming just like these bone conduction headphones, people have been telling me about these things, I think for a couple of years, and I just never got around to getting them. But like then Brian too and Target at Minnesota came out with their videos, and then Stacy sent me information on it, and now it's like, okay, I need to try that, right? And I see that I see those little things as little miracles. So I did want to catch that wave and make sure that I'm putting the information out too, because I think it's something we really need to try. Makes a lot of sense. These transcranial stimulation devices, they conduct a frequency, they create a vibration. It interferes with the transcranial electromagnetic stimulation and a lot of the frequencies going to the inner ear. So vibration on the skin at all, and you're sending a vibration to the inner ear with those bone conduction headphones. And then think about it, guys. I'm already thinking about it where I'm gonna pump Dave Case's CD through that thing. So I'm gonna have those specific because it goes up to 20 kilohertz, the bone conduction headphones that I'm gonna get. And so it'll be pumping Dave Case's CD straight to the inner ear through bone conduction. And so I'm gonna be mixing and matching the other stuff with it. But the good thing is, the really hopeful thing is, we've got some options. You know, that's a huge thing, because sometimes I hear some target individuals saying like, I've tried everything, nothing works. We're going to see more solutions and more things. And especially if Brian too is saying that he got this information from a neuroscientist, I think we need to give it a try. And I think we probably need to buy a pair around like $60 or something like that. But if you don't have that kind of money, you can get pairs for like, you know, 20, I think like $30 or something like that. Some pretty cheap pairs. Samsonite says, I watch Pastor Bob Beeman on Facebook. He's a humble man. I got to write that down. Bob Beeman. Yeah, I'm looking for more things to feed my spirit. You know, when I get into just a depressed state or something like that, I watch some of those things. I watched this sermon by Joel Osteen where he was saying, you know, sometimes you get pulled back by all this negative stuff in your life, right? And we get pulled back by all this targeting. Sometimes it's just God pulling back the bowstring, and a surge is coming. I feel a surge coming. I know there's a lot of bad stuff going around in our world. Cheryl says, is Brian using them? Yeah, I think Brian's going to use them. I love it. I love it. I love Brian coming out and saying, look, I found this defensive solution. I'm definitely going to jump on board with that, because that's a really positive thing. And you know, that's what I've been saying. We're going to have things that come along, and he knows that. He knows that. I think Brian says some things sometimes, but he has faith in God. He knows that we're going to have some solutions come along. So I've got to support that. And I've got to say, we've got to try this. I'm definitely going to be trying it. Yeah. Hey, Ella Advocate. Ella Advocate says, Autumn, it's getting tough, but hang in there. Yeah, especially now. There's going to be a lot of fear in our country and other countries because, you know, Trump drone strike that Iranian general, and Israel really wants a war with Iran, and they want to use America to do it. You know, it's very scary. I've even heard talk about, you know, reinstating the draft. That's a scary thing. Some people are thinking that might be good though, because then we'd see a lot of anti-war protests. It's very concerning because we've got this huge problem of a worldwide genocide with mind control technologies and microwaves, and then they're doing this, they're playing these war games on the surface that it can distract people and get people fearful, and then we're not dealing with the problems under the surface that are eating us away. So, I mean, a war with Iran is just the most idiotic thing ever. Iran's not messing with anybody. Iran has helped us to fight, you know, to fight ISIS and everything like that in the past. And it's just a false flag thing. What you can do is you can take Iran. Iran's a targeted individual. If we're talking about countries being targeted individuals, Iran is a targeted individual. So they're going to try and push them, and like they microwave us, they mind control us. Then we act out or something like that, and they're like, see, we've got to attack them. We got to surveil them, right? So Iran didn't do shit. Like, and I'm just going to say that. I don't care, like, what anybody says. Iran's not attacking anybody. This is a part of the Greater Israeli Project. And as Israel uses us to fight its wars, it doesn't really give anything back to us. As a matter of fact, it pretty much betrays us on all fronts, but we're lapdogs for Israel. If that it gives anybody discomfort, I'm sorry, it's the truth. It's the truth, and we should not be, these people microwaving me are pretty much microwaving me for Israel's betterment, for them to learn technology, because we give all of our technology to Israel. They don't really give us much back. It's a very sad situation. Hey, Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty says, Autumn, I saw your video about Brian and the headphones. Thank you so much. I'm going to give them a try. Yeah, I'm gonna show Brian's video. So I guess everybody's talking about him. I've got an article to read afterwards, but let's go ahead. Let's watch Brian's video, and let's watch Targeted Minnesota's video. I didn't know Autumn had made a video about it because I just heard about it, but I definitely want to get on board. I definitely see how they can work, and it can work more than just a passive defense. Like a lot of the defenses I use, if you're pumping music through it and stuff like that, then it gives it an adaptive quality. So it's definitely good. So let's go ahead. Let's play Brian's video where he's talking about, and then I'm going to play Targeted Minnesota's video. Kind of get woken up here. I might take my thyroid supplement. It made me feel so calm yesterday, and I felt like some weird movement over here on my left side. And I think that my attackers, instead of sophisticated remote neural manipulation to the points of the brain to make me depressed, they just manipulate my brain to manipulate thyroid function and give me this depressed feeling all the time. Yeah, they may do both. They may actually do both. Hey, Tim Greenglass says, hello, you guys keep busy for sure. There are nights when y'all are going and hours later you're still at it. Yeah, I've been doing some really long panels lately. I think everybody likes that. And I think it's important because I think it gets people's morale up. Morale is the most important thing that I see that we need right now. And we do need unity because more people in big groups doing stuff can affect more. So we kind of do need to get together, but then there's that worry of trusting people and deceit and infiltrators and stuff like that. I've just got to plow through it. I've got to do what I think is right, and then everybody else can do what they think is right too. But I would encourage people to get out and talk to real targeted individuals, and then trust in God. Really get a trust in God that He's going to protect you when you're doing the right thing. Other people can do the wrong thing. They can infiltrate, they can lie or whatever. But trust in God that He will safeguard your mind, that He will safeguard your soul when you're doing what's right, when you're stepping out and doing God's will. Like really trust that, because He can protect us. God can protect us a lot more than a lot of these defenses. He leads us to the defenses though too. Yeah, RDM browser says, no wonder you are targeted. You expose the Zionists. Zionism is a huge danger. We have dual citizens within the United States, but they're not dual citizens. They're loyal to Israel. They're very loyal to Israel. And I'm not an anti-Semitic person. Beliefs are what I have a problem with. I don't have problems with genetics or anything like that. I have problems with beliefs. When people think they're above others and they can use them and kill off, Israel wants to use America for its wars. America wouldn't be going after Iran unless it was part of the Greater Israel Project. So it's a big danger. I watch No More News a lot. He's somehow survived not being censored. I would really recommend him learning about the dangers of Zionism. It is, and we do have to talk. It's time to talk about those uncomfortable things. I don't know, some bad stuff may happen to my channel. I kind of wanted to stick to the targeted individual thing, but those very bad beliefs, Zionism, and then you got these fraternal organizations like the Masons, who are basically lapdogs to Zionism, the Rothschilds and everything like that. They're dangerous cults. And these people who do this stuff, they feel like they have some kind of divine right to murder people and experiment on them and do whatever they want to them for some kind of master plan. So it's a cult, And I believe that America should have independence. We should have sovereignty. We shouldn't be working for other nations. You know, we shouldn't be working for other nations. And, you know, people, I know well, let's not get too much into that. Let's go ahead and watch Brian's video on the bone conducting headphones, and let's see what kind he says to get. And I'm going to see if the kind that I found kind of goes along with that. I think you guys should be able to hear this, and I'll open up my chat on my tablet so I can read some of y'all's comments. Can y'all hear that? Can't hear it. Okay. Now y'all can't hear it. I can't turn the volume up anymore. Let's see. Let me see if I can hear it on this thing. Okay, I can't hear it at all either. Okay, so let's try and play Targeted in Minnesota's video. But basically, Brian says that a neuroscientist states that bone conduction headphones will disrupt and defeat mind control technologies within 180 days. I think that it could be sooner that you get a lot of relief, because if you're sending vibrations to the inner ear and over the skin and everything like that, and it's going to be going through the bone to the head and everything, it can disrupt a lot of the electromagnetic transcranial stimulation, can disrupt a lot of the frequencies going to the vestibular system through the inner ear. I don't know why I didn't try it sooner. I should have. When Charles Hall told me about it, I should have just got him. But I was, you know, trying to work on some other defensive methods. But I'm going to try this next. But he's just basically, you know, saying you should get some that are sweat proof. Yeah, get some that are sweat proof and get a good pair. He says, get a good pair for about $60. He says, don't get them off of Amazon. The pair that I found, I'm going to show y'all, it's on Amazon, but I think when I go to my psychiatrist appointment, I'm going to go like to Best Buy or something like that and try and buy a pair in the store. Because he says if you get it from Amazon, it may be messed with. I've gotten some okay stuff from Amazon that I don't think was sabotaged, but maybe on these I might not take a chance. But that's basically what he's saying. Let's see if y'all can hear Targeted in Minnesota's video, because I think it's going around, right? I think that like Brian talked about it, and then Targeted Minnesota's been using them. He's been using bone conduction headphones for a while, and they've been helping him. So I do want to show his video about how he's saying that they're helping him. Is it this one? No, that's me. There I am. Let me see if I can find it. Thought I had it pulled up. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let's see if you guys can hear this.
Hey guys, me Dave. It is 1/5/2020. 5th of January. I thought I'd do a little video tonight. My phone was all messed up. I updated it, and my storage kept on saying it was full and all this stuff.
Y'all can hear that better?
Videos, I couldn't take pictures. I couldn't do anything.
Okay, Cheryl, I'll show you. I'll show you right after this.
I want to do a video because I seen Brian 2's video, and he was talking about bone conduction headphones. I did a video on that probably a year ago or so. They do work. That's what I want to tell you guys. They do work. They go right here. You know, they kind of wrap around the back of your head, and they come out here. They don't go in your eardrum. You know, they go right outside your ear. And if you're listening to like binaural beats or anything with vibration, it does send vibrations through your body. And I do think it disrupts their technology. I have mine right here. I think I paid like $60 for them. And you know, they do work good. They're titanium headphones. You know,
I think I found the kind that Targeted in Minnesota got, so I'll show you all. I'll show you guys that those.
It sends like vibrations through your head and kind of through your body. And I do think it disrupts our technology. So I totally agree with what he's saying on his video. They are good. You know, so I would recommend you guys getting a pair of them, and you can listen to binaural beats or play some music or whatever, and you know, and see what happens. They do seem to work good. I haven't used mine in a while because you know, I get a lot of in-person harassment. So, you know, they go outside your ear here, like right here, and they send vibrations through your body. Well, if they're out there harassing you and stuff like that, like I say, it doesn't cover your eardrum. You know, it doesn't cover your ear like a regular headphone. So you can still hear.
See, and that's awesome for me, guys, because I have the noise canceling hearing aids. I can keep those things in. Then I can be playing Dave Case's CD through the bone conduction earphones, and then I can still hear stuff. So it's like perfect for what I have set up. I might even keep these transcranial stimulation devices. I noticed that, like, if I'm really depressed and anxious, I put these transcranial stimulation device things on, and it lifts that depression. I think that these bone conduction hearing phones earphones will do that too, because I think a lot of the remote neural manipulation is of the peripheral nervous system. So if you're sending vibrations through your bones, it's affecting the nerves, it's affecting blood vessels, it's affecting your cranial nerves and everything like that, and it will really interfere. If you are a targeted individual, especially if you're using the bone conduction headphones and putting Dave Case's CD through them, and it really works, email me. If you're just using them and they really work and you're just listening to binaural beats or music, email me too. But I want to get on board with this. I'm going to get a pair right away. I'll show you all the pair that I'm kind of looking at after we play. I forgot. I'll just call him Targeted Minnesota. I think it's Dave. I think his name's Dave. I haven't seen a video from him in a while, but he puts out a lot of great information.
And people are harassing you and stuff like that, you know. So that's why I haven't used mine. But now.
Hey, politically persecuted Bristol. Politically persecuted Bristol says, "Hi everyone, happy 2020. I hope this brings breakthroughs and freedom for TIs worldwide." Yes, yes, I second that. I second that, politically persecuted. Okay, yeah, I'll play Autumn's video. I'll go to her channel after this. Okay. The video stopped? Are they freezing it up?
Not too much going on. I'm still getting hit. I was up all night last night. Up all night. You know, they kept me up all night last night. Had a few beers and all that stuff, thinking that I was going to be able to sleep. They kept me up all night. I mean, it was up all night. I was up all night, all day. You know, it was, you know, I was trying to sleep and I was drowsy and all this stuff, but they wouldn't let me sleep. They just wouldn't let me sleep all night, all day, you know. So I've been pretty much up for 24 hours. You know, I was so tired earlier today that I was just like, excuse me.
Okay, well, so he talked about the bone conducting headphones. Let's go to Autumn's video. Yeah, sleep deprivation, it's something that if I'm taking my 0.5 milligrams of lorazepam every day, I don't usually have to deal with that. I usually can get to sleep, put Dave Case's CD on, and then my lead cap and everything like that. But if I'm not taking my 0.5 milligrams of lorazepam, my attackers seem to be able to give me a lot of sleep deprivation, where like I'll only get like 3 hours of sleep for like every 2 days or something like that, and it's not even really good sleep. Lately, with the lead cap, I think I've been having dreams that are mine, and I remember them. I'll like wake up right after the dream, and it wasn't like an awful, horrendous dream. I think I'm actually having regular dreams and remembering them and that's changed with the lead cap. And then for the like the first 3 nights that I was wearing the lead cap, I would wake up and my lead cap would be on the left side of me, pushed like really far away from me. So that my attackers were waking me up and I didn't even remember doing this. And I was taking it off and putting it over to the left. Tonight, when I slept, I woke up at like 3 in the morning. The lead cap was still on. So it seems like I'm kind of past that stage where they can get me to take it off and I don't remember. And I feel more energy. I feel more up. It's really good. The lead cap thing, it's working very well. It seems like my attackers really don't like it. But I do like, that's a passive shielding technique. I think we need to mix the passive shielding techniques with techniques like this. But I really like this because running interference on this stuff seems to be the best. I'm also really working on getting Stacy to use the Dave Case's CD because she's still getting targeted extremely hard. Dave Case's CD, I have to say, out of everything, ZVS driver, the passive shielding, the grounding, they all do different things. They all kind of help defensively in a different way. Dave Case's CD is the only thing that I found unhooks it. It doesn't just interfere. It doesn't just, it doesn't just interfere, disrupt for a little while, and then they kind of get back in. It really unhooks it. And then if you stop listening to Dave Case's CD, it takes them like a week to really get hooked back in. So I still really recommend that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it with the bone conduction headphones and then let y'all know how that's working. Let me go to Autumn's video. Let's play Autumn's video. And especially just so I can promote her channel too. Everybody really check out, you can put in targeted individual Autumn because there's a lot of Autumns. So I think it's saved in mine though. So let's go to Autumn's channel. I got my caps lock on. There's a lot of Autumn stuff, but I think for mine, it'll pull it up right away. Oh, y'all can't see what I'm looking at. Okay, hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna pull up Autumn's video. Can't believe a lot of you guys are up. It's like 6 in the morning. I can believe it, actually. I can believe it totally. For the sleep deprivation, the thing that really, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to prescribe it to you guys, but the 0.5 milligrams of lorazepam when I use other stuff with it. Okay, yeah, this is what Stacy sent me. She sent it to me on my phone. Okay, so it's just Brian's video. Okay. Can we hear it better? I think my attackers mess with my audio settings. Oh, y'all can't even see this. Hold on. I'm at least going to show Autumn's channel so you guys can go there. But this is Brian's video basically. I wish we could hear it a little bit better because he says some specific things. You want to get sweat-proof ones. You don't want to get them from Amazon. I'm not going to get the wireless ones. I'm going to get the wired ones because I just don't trust wireless earbuds and stuff like that. They have transceivers in them because they're picking up the wireless frequencies so they'll work, right? And I just don't trust them. But you guys can do what you think is right. Just really don't trust the wireless stuff. Can you guys hear this? Y'all tell me in chat. Can y'all hear that? can't really hear it, guys, but basically go check out Autumn's channel in this video. Check out Brian's channel in the video on him if you want to learn more specifics about, you know, the type that you need. He doesn't really say the type, but he just says get a nice pair, right? And I agree with that. Get a nice pair. It's like $60 or something like that. I'm not going to get wireless ones. I'm going to get some that I can plug into a CD player or plug into my computer. I don't want to wear wireless headphones of any kind because they have things inside them that are picking up wireless signals. I feel like that's a transceiver, which also can put through wireless signals to your vestibular system. So I'd be very careful with that. Just like these, what's it called? The Raycon, those new wireless headphones, new wireless earbuds that you can put in. I think that is basically something put out in the consumer market where people are buying their own implants. They're buying their own implants that they can just put into their vestibular system, and then they can be tapped into by these agencies doing mind control technology research, because they're just gonna research and experiment on everybody. There's so many people speaking about being targeted, so many people speaking about like having torturous pain to their nervous system. Children, it's happening to, teenagers. They're just doing it to everybody because the world has gone insane, and corrupt people at the top of the pyramid have just taken over, and they get people to actually do the evil to their own communities and think that they're fighting terrorism or some kind of crap like that. I can't believe everybody's been tricked so badly. I can't believe that everybody is not listening to people like us who are saying, look, we're being tortured in our homes 24 hours a day. This is insane. This is genocide. It's killing people. People are committing suicide. Their bodies are giving out. This is not a joke. It's not a joke where, oh, somebody's just surveilling me when I use the bathroom. They're surveilling me in everything that I do, harassing me at the same time. People are becoming surveillance role players and COINTELPRO and counterintelligence and all this, agent provocateurs. It's insane. It's like a global technocratic Nazi Germany, and this is, it's part of these cult fraternal organizations. It's part of Zionism. It's part of all these things where people join their little group and they're working on their master plan. It's been planned for a long time. I don't know if they were planning it with exactly this technology, but this technology came along probably after World War II. It existed way before World War II, but after World War II, plans started to form to use this and experiment on people and try and really, really work electromagnetic frequencies to control people, to disrupt groups, to kill people when they want to, so it's been a master plan in the works for a long time by really evil people. The only thing that I can see that we do is we really get with God and we try and just shine a light in this world, and we see where he takes it, right? Because this is so big. It's, and now, oh gosh, the new general in Iran is, basically stomping and yelling and saying that he's going to cover the Middle East with dead Americans. You don't think that was planned? You don't think that Iranian general is somehow bought off and he's going to, kick and scream and yell war so that they can have war, so that Israel can get America to go over and start a war with Iran, who has never done. They helped us, and they helped us fight the Afghanis back when they helped when Afghanistan was fighting the Russians. They helped us in those wars, basically, and they've never done anything to us. Iran is very, very peaceful. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what the Zionists say. Iran is not a danger. And you think that if they really had nuclear weapons ready to go, that America wouldn't be trying to cut a deal with them like they do North Korea. North Korea has working nuclear weapons, right? And so America has to play nice with them. So we're just drone killing Iran's most famous general. You think they really have nuclear weapons? America would not be just attacking them and trying to start a war if Iran had nuclear weapons ready to go. So, but it's a scary time because of that. And I feel like these wars come into play these big wars where it can take America's attention. You know, there's wars going on all the time, right? We're in a continual, perpetual war right now, especially with us, you know, us being targeted. There's wars in other places on the globe, right? But I feel like these big wars that can capture America's attention, they kind of come around when it's a time when people should know about this. They should know about targeting. They're starting to be aware of the corruption and stuff like that. And then they're like, well, we just need to go start a war in the Middle East. It can take everybody's attention off of the big problems that are hurting their communities, and then we can continue that. You know, it's all thought out. It's all done by algorithms. But our God is greater than an algorithm. Our God is stronger than any of these weapons. Our God, the creative force that flows through everyone and everything in this universe is so powerful. And it can seem like we're pushed back so far. We didn't get to do anything we wanted to in our life. In some people's cases, it's way more serious. Like my parents are being murdered. A lot of people's children are being hurt. That's a huge thing. In those times, though, you know, God didn't do that. Men did that evil to us, to our families. So we need to get with God and see what he can do with this, you know. And I know a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about in chat, but it's just so important. I feel so close to a big awareness happening. So many people are talking about this. So many people are talking about the important issues. So many people are waking up. You know, 2020 has been weird, though. My vehicular stalking has been way worse, and I think it's just because they have new resources. Like, you know how government agencies, they have a certain kind of budget, and then the budget starts over on the new year. My vehicular stalking's been worse. My attacks, I don't know. They've been I've been keeping them at bay with the stuff I'm doing. Have y'all's attacks been really bad? Sleeping Beauty says, Kyle, have you seen the Parsa versus Google lawsuit? Google, Facebook, Elon Musk being sued for being complicit with torture and genocide with AI. No, I have not. Let me look that up. Let me show you guys first. The type of bone conduction headphones that I'm looking at getting, and then we'll look that up. What's it? Parsa versus Google lawsuit. Okay. Parsa versus Google. I'm gonna write that down. Parsa versus Google. We'll check that out. They are, like, Elon Musk is a poster boy for the military-industrial complex, and all this torture and mind control experimentation, neuroweapons experimentation. He's bringing out the Neuralink off of the backs of many dead targeted individuals and tortured targeted individuals. And Facebook and Google are using mind reading technologies based off of what the military industrial complex is doing to target individuals, you know, bottom line. So this is Aftershocks Sports Titanium with mic. Oh, it has a mic on. I don't need a mic. I guess it just has a mic on the little thing. But it's a wired open ear bone conduction headphones with microphone. I don't know why I need the microphone. I might look at some more, but this seemed pretty good. It's like, let me see how much it is. It's about $60, but they're wired. So these seem Aftershock Sports Titanium. I'm going to kind of look at some more. I may go to the store and try and find some, but this is the kind that I'm thinking about getting. And I'll just try them out. I'm definitely going to, you know, be pumping Dave Case's CD through them. I might keep these on, and I might keep my noise canceling hearing aids in, just to completely interfere with this area. And then the bone conduction headphones will be interfering with even transcranial, electromagnetic transcranial stimulation, because our attackers do that a lot. When they're hitting you with a big heavy beam, like in the middle of your head, they're trying to stimulate your cranial nerves so that can then travel through your nervous system to your brain, then back to your nervous system for remote neural manipulation. So, okay, what was it? Parsa versus Google. Let me look that up. I'm going to look that up real quick. That sounds very interesting. Let me go to Parsa versus Google. Do it. Okay. I'm actually going to look it up on Google. So Parsa versus Google. Let's check this out, guys. Let me share my screen here. December 16th, 2019. Okay. So the plaintiff, Cirrus A. Parsa, defendant Larry Page, John Doe, Sergey Brin, Google, Sundar Pichai, Alphabet Incorporated, Neuralink Incorporated, DeepMind Incorporated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sleeping Beauty. I did many videos on how Neuralink comes from this torture, from neuroweapons torture, training, research, and development, from directed energy weapon experimentation. Thank you that Parsa is bringing it into court. Filed on December 16th, 2019. Let's see, is there like a description? Document text, summons issued. Wait, let's read the rest of the plaintiffs. I got too excited. Okay, so DeepMind Incorporated, Elon Musk, Tesla Incorporated, Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook Incorporated, and CISON-PR Newswire. In the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California, presiding Judge Kathy Ann Bensavinjo. Nature of the suit, civil rights. Okay, so date filed, filing 2, summons issued. Counsel receiving this notice electronically should print the summons and serve it in accordance with Rule 4. Filing when complaint against Alphabet Incorporated, Sergey Brin, CISON-PR Newswire, DeepMind Incorporated, Facebook Incorporated, Google LLC. This needs to happen. Yes, this needs to happen because all these companies are getting these consumer products built off of torture of citizens around the world. This is so important. Access additional case information on Pacer. I want to see like a description. Access this case. Let's see if I can find like maybe an article about it or something. Okay, here's an article on it. Let me go back out. I'll read this article. I may not read the other article. We may just read about this morning. I really just wanted to tell you all about the bone conducting headphones, and I'm going to get a pair as soon as possible. Just don't know what kind I want to get. I'm going to have to kind of look around, but I'm thinking I'll probably get some wired ones for around $60. So that was the main thing that I was like, oh, should I just play video games and zone out until my psychiatrist appointment, or should I do a live stream and go through information? Kismet that I did a live stream with some information because this is important information. We're going to read some more about this, guys. Sleeping Beauty says, Vulcan Wolverine, can you drop a link for those headphones in the chat? Yeah, let me drop a link for that Amazon page. I'm not sure if this is the kind I'm going to get, though, Sleeping Beauty. Oh, it's a really long link. Oh, well, I'll send it in the chat. But yeah, I think these are the kind I'm going to get. I haven't really looked into it a whole bunch. Look at that link. I can't. No, it's 329 characters. Just go to Amazon and put in Aftershocks sports time. Okay, look. What I'll do. That's what I'll do. Get it down to 200 characters, and you should be able to get close to where it is on Amazon. That should work. I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. But yeah, but that basically tells you Aftershocks sports. bone conducting headphones. Wired though. I would get wired. If me, I'm gonna get wired headphones. You guys can, you can get wireless if you want to. I'm not gonna take a chance. So politically persecuted Bristol, UK says Harvey Weinstein used Mossad agents to investigate and harass his victims. It's becoming commonplace in powerful corporations. Yes, Black Cube. Black Cube is ex-Mossad. Like, it's basically Israeli soldiers operating on American soil with these neuro weapons, directed energy weapons through the wall radar. So there's basically Mossad, Israeli soldiers operating out of a corporation, harassing, hurting, torturing American citizens. I mean, that's how bad it's gotten. Like, we're letting another country's intelligence agents like start a corporation and run black ops and hurt American citizens for these rich clients who are probably also Zionists, who probably also have connections to Israel. It's bad, guys. Go check out No More News. KNOWMORE and then news NEWS. And I just want to say I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm against beliefs. I'm against Zionism and everything. I have many Jewish friends who, they worship God. They're normal, and everything like that. Zionism is dangerous. The state of Israel. I'm not talking about just genetics or anything like that. I'm talking about the state of Israel. We should not be fighting wars for the state of Israel. Okay, Dust Leaving Beauty. Okay, cool. Yeah, those are the kind that I'm thinking of getting, but I'm not quite sure. I might go to the store and look for some, but I think those are good. They're wired. They're not wireless. Brian Lee says, "What's up, Kyle? You're hard, dude, to get a hold of. Call me." Yeah, I got so many people texting me and calling me, and then it's hard to get to all my emails and stuff like that. I'll try, man. I'll try and get back to you. I can't even keep in touch with the people that I talk to a lot. And then dealing with all this targeting and kind of what I want to work on and stuff like that. Dragon Lord says, "This is my son's YouTube." Is your son looking into targeted individuals? Is your son may be a targeted individual? Ella Advocate says, "Bristol, I've had Mossad's harassing me, pretending to be TIs and calling me Wayne and Pearl psychopaths." And yeah. I think I think there are a lot like Black Cube. I think there are just a lot of people who are really not even American who are maybe torturing us. I think the people microwaving me and my gang stalkers, they are American by name, like they were born in America. But I mean, when you have a corporation, Black Cube, that is somehow allowed to perform black ops with advanced technology on just whoever their clients want them to mess with. Doesn't even have to, the client, the person that the client wants them to mess with may not have even broken any laws, but it's just because the client pays them money and they say, okay, we'll go surveil them in their house, we'll surveil them when they when they use the bathroom, and we'll maybe hit them with some neuro weapons, remote neural monitor them and stuff like that, get information of what they're thinking and give it back to the client. And the client's probably the most corrupt, evil person, just like Harvey Weinstein, right? The client's not the good guy. So it's like a criminal pays the criminal to do criminal acts on the innocent individual. I mean, that's just like us, right? It's becoming global organized crime, right? That's what it's global organized crime. Things have gotten so corrupt that there is no oversight, there is no transparency. Citizens have no idea what's going on. Even us who are being hit with all this stuff, we have a good idea of what's happening, but we don't know exactly how. We don't know, the exact protocols of like how many surveillance role players do they have that can infiltrate chat rooms and infiltrate our lives. What are they exactly called? What's the exact protocols that they do? We're not supposed to know. And we're figuring it out, right? We're figuring it out as targeted individuals, but they don't want the rest of the citizens of the world to know this stuff because they want to be able to use it on them at any given time. So they don't want people to know about it. Hey, Barefoot Sungazer. Barefoot Sungazer says, whichever your preference, maybe on this fine morning. Yeah. Good morning, sunshine. In rain clouds. You said in rain clouds? Tim Greenglass says, so you all would rather be saying Allah Akbar? No, I want America to be sovereign, because America is building up its weapon programs. Russia's building up its weapon programs. China's building up its weapon programs. But this could, if every country had this kind of technology and opened it to the public, there would be no more war. If everybody had the same level of surveillance, microwave technology, there would be no more war. This really does trump the nuclear bomb. This technology trumps the nuclear bomb, because it can just be so precise, kill whole populations, make whole populations do whatever you want it to. I would rather be saying whatever's on the Constitution. I'd rather be doing what my forefathers wanted me to. I don't want to do what Israel wants me to do, and I don't want to do what Muslims want me to do. I want to do what my founding fathers want me to do. So I don't want to say Allah Akbar, and I don't want to say whatever Israel says. We should be a sovereign nation. We should make our own choices. Helping each other out as allies is one thing, but being a lapdog for a nation is another. And it never needed to be this way. It just never needed to be this way. If we would have done what the founding fathers wanted us to, and we would have been a sovereign nation, not become an empire where we go over to everywhere else but our own country and try and fix things, which means blowing up a bunch of families, it never would have happened. And 9/11 was a complete false flag. I'll say these things. My video may get censored this morning. 9/11 was a complete false flag, which was not done by a bunch of Muslims. If those Muslims got on those planes, you better bet those cells were created by a bunch of Zionists. That Israel had a huge part to play in blowing up those Twin Towers. They had a huge part to play. America did too. We're living in a false flag. Well, I mean, like you're saying, would I rather say Allah Akbar? Like, why am I being attacked? I'm an innocent citizen. I'm being microwaved to death. We have been doing false flags. America has been doing false flags on smaller countries and our own citizens for many, many years. It's an empire. Like, you go watch Star Wars. We are the evil empire. We see ourselves as still what our founding fathers created, which was great. And there are still Americans who have that spirit of justice. But as a whole, systematically, we are the evil empire. America is the evil empire. And the state of Israel might as well be the emperor. And that's the stuff that it's out there. All the information is out there. There's a whole lot of propaganda or whatever, but we should be a sovereign nation that takes care of ourselves. The world is too messed up. We need to pull back in, let other countries with other traditions and cultures work out their own differences. We never needed to be there in the first place. Never needed to try and solve the world's problems, but that's not actually what was happening. We were saying we were solving the world's problems, and then eventually people didn't want that. They said, don't go solve the world's problems. So America and Israel had to get together and say, how can we make people okay with us going into the Middle East with a bunch of young men and women from this country and getting them killed, and them killing a bunch of people and creating this awful system? Well, we'll just blow up some buildings in our own country. I don't care how wackadoodle it's. I'm targeted by microwave frequencies, and nobody believes me because everybody has their heads up their butt. People can think whatever they want about 9/11. Israel and the United States were in collusion to create that kind of death. So then they had a reason, a justification. The people would get behind a war, a prolonged war, a never-ending war, not just in the Middle East, but then back in our respective countries. We would not be targeted individuals. I guarantee you a lot of the targeted individuals that are targeted now would not be targeted if 9/11 didn't happen and people didn't get behind losing their precious freedoms for security. You have neither, right? Ben Franklin said it. If you're giving up your freedoms for security, you deserve neither. And that's what Americans got. That's what Americans have. They have neither. We have neither freedom nor security. We live in communities full of death and lies and gang stalking, where people are being murdered in their homes. And you want to say that oh, would you rather be saying Allah Akbar? No, we're saying, oh, please, Mr. American microwave ex-military soldier that worked for some contractor, please don't murder me and my family with microwaves. That's what we're saying. That's nuts. We didn't save anything from terrorists. We didn't save anybody from any Muslims. What we got is a bunch of people in our country who became the terrorists that they said they were fighting, and they're murdering us in our homes. We gave away our freedom out of fear, and now we have neither freedom or security. And we've got to try and fight a fight that's on a shoestring against these corporations and contractors in the military industrial complex who print money daily, and we can't even get food. We can't even get food. And we're going to try and win back our freedom, try and win back what the founding fathers, with their blood and sweat and tears and guns against England, earn that through blood. And we had a bunch of people. I didn't give it away. None of you guys in chat gave it away. It was a bunch of rich people who said, well, I just want my money for now, and I don't really care what happens in this country. They won. And now we have a bunch of Americans murdering Americans. I'm not being murdered by Muslims. Are any of you guys being murdered by Muslims? Because I'm being murdered by Americans. Yeah, Tim Gringlass. I mean, I need to start talking about some of this stuff, but I am a little bit hesitant to talk about some of it, because when you speak against the true power in this world, you are deemed an evil, bigoted son of a gun. Because that Voltaire said, look at who you cannot question, and that's where the power lies. So just do that. Just look at who you can't question. Look at who you can't, who you can't criticize. Look at those. You can criticize Muslims. You can criticize Muslims all day. You can criticize white people all day. You can spit on white men and kick them. You think white men are in power? Look at who you cannot criticize, and you will find the people in power who are doing all this. Barefoot Sungator says, on point. Yes, damn, dude. Yes, holy shit. I didn't know this about Israel. Kyle is woke as fuck. Yeah, half of us are literally begging them to kill us instead of torture us so badly we want death. Yeah, I mean, it's not in vogue to speak badly about Israel. Even our president Trump, says we need to love Israel more. We need to do more for Israel. We already killed 3,000 people for Israel on American soil, and now we're murdering a lot of people and torture. Not me, but America is torturing and killing a lot of people and screwing up communities for a Zionist plan. Y'all realize that, right? There's the Zionists, they want countries to be destroyed because it's part of a prophecy. It's part of a prophecy of end times. So this all goes along with it, flooding countries with immigrants, flooding countries from immigrants, not only from south of the border, but also from overseas in the Middle Eastern countries where we went and destroyed their cities. And so now they're flooding them into Sweden, in the UK, in Australia, in America. If we would have just not gone there and created those wars, we wouldn't have all those immigrants flooding in. It was part of a bigger plan. All this stuff, none of this stuff that goes on is just like, oh, well, we're gonna drone attack an Iranian general just because he was making trouble. It's all part of a plan. It's all part of a bigger plan. We understand that as targeted individuals. Look at what they do to our individual lives. Where do you think that came from? That came from the macrocosm of using algorithms in certain strategies on a world stage. And they said, well, we can make countries look like crap, and we can attack them even though they didn't do anything, and we can set them up and false flag them. What are they doing to individuals now? They took that macrocosm of what they worked on for so long, and then they said, well, we can do that to the individual now. So where's our innocent American? Let's go microwave them, make them act out and say they're crazy, and then we can attack them more and use more resources on them. We can make everybody in their community think that they're an enemy or some kind of crazy person. Deceit has just hit an all-time high in the world, and it's why we need God. It's why we need, no matter how dark or this gets, or how depressed you get, or say it's so big, we need people believing and doing good, no matter how big the empire gets. No matter how big the empire gets. Diana 50 says, Christianity was used by white people to create shame and programming for later resource extraction and pirating opportunity for global cultures. Yeah, that's true. Christianity has been used for control and things like that in the past. But I think that we need to, Christians and people of all other faiths, we need to evolve and not use it for control, but use it to reach to God and to bring light into the world. And I'm not talking about the Illuminati light. I'm talking about like the light of our soul, humanity, because we drift further and further away from what makes us human. They're trying to make a bunch of psychopaths in the world who are cynical and narcissistic and don't care about anything. But what makes us human beings is we're connected to each other. These people who are killing me, they're killing themselves. You guys realize why I try and help people? Because it helps me. It helps me help you. Cycles, we're all connected. That's the trick. The whole lie. The lie is that we're different people. The whole human body is connected. Things are connected in the universe. So of course, divine conquer, divine conquer, divine conquer. These people who are attacking everybody and they're attacking themselves. You help other people to help yourself. Of course, they want a bunch of people like betraying their neighbor and lying and stuff like that, because it hurts them too. It hurts their neighbor and it hurts them. When we help others, it's strengthening ourselves. It's strengthening our community. There is no blood in the mud. If a bunch of people get together and unjustly murder one person, it doesn't bring them together. Anything that it brings together is corrupted and will quickly fade. Quickly fade. It's the dark versus the light. I hate to bring a Star Wars reference. The light side of the Force, it takes longer. It's not quick. It's not a quick path. But the dark side is quick. It's quick and it's stronger. It's stronger right up front, but it leads to only tragedy, only death of self, only fear and anger and destruction. The light side is the only choice. The light side is the only choice. People don't see it. I mean, it's very dangerous that people don't see it. Barefoot Sungator says, let's see, Diana Pythia says, unless people start understanding the empire connections with Christianity and inversions of using God's name for the devil's work, we are only working with that. Christianity is not the danger, Diana Pythia. Christianity is not the danger in the world. Masons are dangerous. Zionism is dangerous. None of these Christians, real Christians out there, they have power in God, but they don't have any kind of political power. White Christian males have no political power. They have no political power. I mean, you're saying Christianity is also very misogynistic to this time and many cultural sects. I think some very dogmatic forms of Christianity, but there are a lot of forms of Christianity that have evolved past that, and they take on the teachings of Jesus. If somebody is into the New Testament and what Jesus taught, they're not going to be misogynistic. So there are some dogmatic, like Old Testament, very, very dogmatic sects in Christianity, that are kind of bad. That's not the danger. Christianity is not the danger in the world anymore. It's not. It's just not. But I'll tell people what you recommend them to watch. Diana Pythia says, I recommend watching The Gray Zone in the Real News Network and the Empire Files. Sleeping Beauty says, Dr. Delgado wrote a book titled Physical Control of the Mind Toward a Psycho-Civilized Society. Yeah. I feel like the beliefs that are dangerous are when people say they believe stuff Like, I think Masons, people think they're Satan worshipers, but they're not. Masons worship intelligence. They call it Lucifer, but they worship man's intelligence. They see themselves as God, so they don't have anything, a creator, to worship. So people think that they worship some being called Satan, but that's a misnomer. They actually worship intelligence, they illumination, the light of intelligence. And if you're depending on just humans' intelligence, if that's what you're worshiping, everything will fall into evil. Because we need God. We don't have enough knowledge to know where God's leading us, because we don't know everything. People that think they know everything, they fail very fast. They fall very fast. We don't know everything, and we do need God. I think that Christianity, I think that dogmatic Christianity should evolve. So I kind of see Diana's point about some Christianity, being misogynistic and stuff. But Zionism is the real danger in the world. Zionism is it. Masonic beliefs work under Zionism, work under Talmudist beliefs. Zionism is the big danger. Because all these other fraternal organizations were grown from those beliefs, from those kind of cult beliefs. And Zionists, I don't want to get into too much about that, because I don't want to offend anybody. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Telling some of these truths, it's not like you're anti-Semitic or whatever. It's beliefs that I'm against. And I am against very, very, very dogmatic Christians. Not against them, but I wish they would change. I think a lot of dogmatic Christians are not as dangerous as some Zionists and Talmudists. Yeah, Diana Pithy says people like the millionaires and billionaires and these huge celebrity-driven empirical churches are another form of mind control. Yeah. Yeah, we need compassion, Diana says. I like Joel Osteen. People say a lot of bad stuff about him, but I think he's one of these churches, that people really condemn. I think that he does good. I think that he has a lot of very inspiring message. He inspires people and gets them through the door of believing, of reaching to God, and nothing resonates with me that is evil. Like, that's something I can say about myself. So when I'm watching Joel Osteen, I'm watching him tear up, talking about, I would not resonate with the man if he had evil intent. I think that in this society, sometimes we see good things and we're like, oh, everything's evil, so that person's doing good to somehow mind control and do evil. But we need to be careful about that. There still are a lot of really, really good human beings in the world just trying to do straight up good. And we can't forget that does exist. Hey, Charles Hall says, go knock on so-called Christians' doors when you're homeless or starving. See how many Christians there is. I bet you a lot of Christians would help. I would help people. I give homeless people money all the time, even though I'm being tortured. I'm sure that Joel Osteen did let people in during the hurricane. Their place was flooded, and so there was a homeless shelter down the way. They had to wait for their place for the waters to reside, but everybody still says that he did not let people into his church. They gang stalked the dude. They said that he didn't let homeless people in to try and destroy him. So he's had all these rumors and stuff that are trying to destroy him. He's been attacked, by the system. That's kind of says something. It kind of says that he's good. Diana Pithy says, I think he's a fake narcissist. I don't feel that when I watch him. I do not feel that at all. I feel like he is very genuine. Let's not get into that, I guess. I just disagree with that. And actually, I'm going to try and go on BitChute and just like, if I can play Joel Osteen videos. Have you guys who say that, are you just saying that because you heard it? Have you watched any of his sermons? Like, have you watched him tear up when he's giving these really important messages? That would not resonate with me on such a level and get me going towards God. If this guy was evil, he's opening doors so that people can walk through and find their faith in hard times. How is that evil? How is that narcissistic? A narcissist can't cry. He'd have to be a very, very good actor to cry. I don't know. Yeah, Diana Pithy says that's an interesting narrative. He's got how much money? Why didn't he rent out hotel rooms for people rather than just turning them away? He did eventually let them into the church. When the waters receded, he then let people come in and had clothes and food and everything, and he did let people into the church. But you can't just say, like, anybody with money, why didn't they buy a bunch of hotel rooms for people in flood? Nobody who was rich bought a bunch of hotel rooms for people in flood. Like, you know, whatever. Charles Hall says religion and politics have nothing to do with targeting. Are you kidding me, man? Are you kidding? Are you freaking kidding? Religion and politics has everything to do with our targeting. Has everything to do with our targeting. Certain religious beliefs are what drives this targeting. Certain cult beliefs drive the justification to do these things to us. You gotta be joking, man. I know you're joking. You're just joking. You got it. You're joking with me. But politics and religion have everything to do with this. Diana Pithy says, doesn't he have a millionaire Christian networks? No, I mean, he's on YouTube. He's on YouTube, and he and then he has, like, he's on some of the Christian channels. I guess I won't talk. I guess so many people hate him. I'm seeing how many people hate Joel Osteen and just talk crap about him. And I'm not, you know, you guys can talk about whatever you want in chat, and I'll read it. That tells me something. That tells me a little something, how much people have heard all these rumors about him and badmouth him. If you go watch his sermons and listen to him, it's incredible what y'all are saying to me, because I just go to his sermons. And literally, if there were some kind of problems like in his life or something like that, which I've never heard, nobody's ever gotten anything concrete. It's always that he didn't let people into his church when the flood came, and he did, and he totally did. And that's the only thing people can say against him. But even if there was some problem in his personal life, I watch his sermons and I get something out of them and I resonate with them, you know, and I get closer to God. Would I be able to get closer to God and break this mind control? Break this hold on me, the depression and all this stuff. If that guy was evil and he was trying to lock me into more mind control, I think that the bottom line is evil has thrown confusion at all of us, and we're all confused on what to go towards. So just go towards God. Just find what you resonate with, the good that can bring you out of this mind control into good things, and trust that, and trust yourself, and trust the information that you see. You know, don't follow blindly anyone anymore. I think that's what we need to learn. You know, his actions, but okay, so Diana says it's more about actions for me than what people say. I've been a trafficking victim of a spiritual man who could tear up for his own sympathy. Sometimes speaking is an action. You understand? Sometimes it's like that's all you can do is bring awareness about something, or lift somebody up, or inspire them. You know, Joel Osteen does these sermons where he's like telling people that, you know, God's got this. You can do this. Sometimes you go through hard times. How many of those thousands of people sitting in that stadium, it changes their life, and when they go out of there, their actions are better. You see, Diana, so you may be thinking about that a little bit too in the box. Think about if you inspire somebody and then their actions are better. Not only you're taking actions that are good, but you're helping other people to make better decisions and believe in things. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes speaking out can be an action. Sometimes it's like, it's all we can do, you know? Yeah, let me go back to the lawsuit. Diana Pithy says it is, but if you're not walking your talk, turning people away, and he didn't. He let go. Check that out. The building was flooded. He couldn't let people in because it was dangerous. He could not let people in because his building was flooded. There was a homeless shelter down the street. It was taking people. Then a couple of hours later, he started letting people in. He actually got on the news because there was this huge campaign against him about how he was so evil and not letting people in. Imagine if you were in his situation, because we are. We're targeted individuals and we're trying to help people. We can't do everything. And somebody, you maybe something happened and you weren't able to do something, and then somebody's like, oh, he didn't do this, he's evil, but you did all this other stuff, you were good, but it just something happened where you couldn't let people in for a couple of hours, and then it just doesn't even go, even though he straightened the record, it's still not straight, and people still say they still took that beginning false narrative, that beginning false rumor, and they still use it about him. That tells me a lot. That tells me a lot that he is good, because that was a huge campaign of lying about him. Charles Hall, they got the building being flooded in on video. The building was flooded in. And then that same day, he was letting people in. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Charles? That same day, he was letting people into church. Okay, let's go to the lawsuit. I'm going to keep playing a bunch of Joel Osteen stuff. I'm going to keep talking about him. I'm going to say a bunch of stuff from his sermons. I love him. I see how many people badmouth him and create rumors about him. They do that to me. I love him. And you can, I hope you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. You know, if you don't like that, you can give it a thumbs down and unsubscribe. I'm going to start doing things that I know are right, and people can do what they think is right. You know, I think he's a great guy. I think he gets so many people in with a foot in the door to knowing God, to trusting in God. And those people walk away from his sermons and they start acting. Thousands of people have joy in their heart and know that God will lead them to good things and know that they should help people out. And that is good. How is so much good seen as so much evil? We're that happens to us. He's a major conduit for me. He's a major conduit that he says things that I thought, many years before, and I'll hear him say it, and it's how I kind of thought about God. And he'll say those things, and it just gives me goosebumps, and I get closer to God. How could evil do that? How could evil bring you closer to God? Could bring you out of mind control? Could help you so much? And we all have, I am a fanboy. Yes, definitely am a fanboy of Joel Osteen. He is a doer. He believes in God. He's had trouble in his life. He's successful now, but it wasn't always that way. And through his whole father's career, his father wasn't rich, but he just took it to another level. And he presented it out in media. So he didn't just start a church and have people come into church. If he would have never put it out on television, YouTube, and things like that, he wouldn't be as big as he is, And I'm gonna look. Okay, yeah, you say no judgment of you. I just don't trust him at all. Do you know him though? Do you know what he's actually done? Be careful about this. I'm just saying, be careful about this, guys. Rumors are spread about us, right? So if you're just going on rumors spread about others, be careful. We're targeted individuals. People spread rumors about me all the time. People spread rumors about you guys. Let's really look into this stuff. Really look into that flood thing. Go look it up. Go look at him on the news explaining it a couple of hours later as he's letting droves of people into the church, giving them clothes and food, letting them and their kids come in. Like, their place was flooded. They couldn't let people in. It was too dangerous. So if they would have started letting people in when their place was flooded, they would have gotten sued by those same people. You have to be careful in this world. Like, even if you want to be nice and stuff like that, you have to be very careful, because some of those people who were looking for shelter in the flood, if they slipped or anything, or they got some tetanus or something from the floodwaters, they could have just sued the crap out of him in his church, and they likely would have. It's a complicated world where if you have that much stuff, I trust my gut too, Diane. I trust my gut too. I just don't think you know a lot about him. I'm not a very big church person either, but I think what he doesn't sell is church. I think that he he is more in tune with spirituality, getting people in the door so that God can take them the rest of the way. I don't know. I just think that people who like kind of talk smack about him, they haven't looked into him. They just talk to some other person. The other person told them a rumor, and they don't go straight to the source. We need to start going straight to the source, you know, because we want people to do that for us, right? I don't want my neighbor out there talking to another neighbor who's a gang stalker about me. I want them coming to me and finding out, you know. So we just got to be careful about that. I'm not saying you, Diana. Just a bunch of other people. I'm not saying anything bad about you. You can have whatever opinions you want, you know. And a lot of very rich millionaire preachers I don't like, and I think that they misuse their money and they're corrupt and stuff like that. I just see him as he's different. He's different, and you can't dig up a bunch of corruption on him. Nobody has been able to show me anything where he's like misusing his money or whatever. Yeah. So that's the lawsuit link. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the lawsuit. Sorry guys, I got on a tangent. We were just hanging out. This lawsuit is important. Let's go back to that. Let's read about it. Okay, so the AI organization, this looks like an online magazine. And Diana, you have the right to your opinions. I kind of get fired up about him, and I know it's not popular. Like, it's not popular to like Joel Osteen, which I'm so surprised about. Because if you just go and watch his sermons, boy, they can lift you up and they can get you closer to God in the way that you want to, because he's general about it. That's why a lot of Christians don't like him, because he does say verses of the Bible, but he wants to speak to everyone. You know, I feel like anything you do in life, I feel like this is the kind of world we have now. I feel like anything that you do, even if you have pure intentions and you're doing exactly like you're pouring all your good intentions and everything into it, somebody's gonna hate it. Somebody's gonna say rumors about you. Somebody's gonna be like, oh, he did this. Oh, he's not saying somebody, you know, it's very hard to step up and do something. It's very hard to step up and do something. And therein lies the problem. That's why we have a culture of critics. And I'm not talking about you, Diana. I'm just talking about, like, this is what I was thinking of when I say culture of critics. We have so many people complaining about those Star Wars movies, but none of them could ever direct a movie, right? We have so many people complaining about what people do, but they couldn't do it. So many people criticizing the president, but it's such a hard job, right? We have a culture of what our founding fathers did not want. And I'm definitely not talking about anybody in chat. We were just discussing our likes and dislikes, and that's fine. But I'm just saying that this, on a whole nother thing, we have a culture of critics, and that's a problem. It makes people scared to step up and do something like this, to make videos and stuff, because they know they're going to be criticized. I'm criticized a lot. I'm criticized by everybody for just stepping up and doing the right thing. And I'm not, seriously, this is another thing. Like, me and Diana, we're just talking about likes and dislikes, but I'm talking about other stuff now. It makes a culture of critics where people, they don't want to step up and do stuff. They'd rather just kind of sit back and say, oh, that person's, you know, and I don't like that. I think we should have a culture. Our founding fathers wanted a culture of doers, you know, of doers, of we all do stuff, and you see the good in it. You know, you say, oh, that was tough to do that. I just feel like it's propaganda. I feel like it's a propaganda worldwide on, you know, don't do anything because you're going to be criticized. You know, you're going to have a lot of people criticize because there's so many different lines of thought, right? Human thought is so complex. Like, our perceptions, what we like, what we dislike, and all this stuff, so different. You're never going to please everybody. You're never going to please everybody. I kind of want you all to know that, like, don't worry about that. Like, just get with God and say what you like. You're going to have people, especially on YouTube, it gets really weird. It gets really weird with those thumbs up and thumbs down button. And please give this video a like and share it. We're just hanging out on this one, but that's a very, very thinly veiled conditioning. When you've got something where people can speak out, but they're judged, so they start kind of communicating a certain way, making sure that they say stuff that pleases people, that can get the most thumbs up. And especially when it's tied into their finances. This isn't tied into my finances. I make no money from YouTube. I've made a little bit of money, like maybe $300 over 6 years. Think about that culture. Think about that culture where it's like only you see these people like on YouTube. What's that guy, Philip DeFranco, and he never has an opinion. He's so popular, and he gets all these thumbs up, and he never has an opinion about anything. And that's the kind of culture that they're making, where it's like you gotta just talk about a story, don't really have an opinion about anything, and then you'll get your thumbs up, and then you'll get your finances and everything like that. And it creates this culture of being afraid to speak out about what's right. We've got to be careful about that, guys. I've got to be careful about that. I've been pushed this way and that, by a lot of things, not just my targeting. And it has changed me. We've just got to break through that. We got to break through that and just do what's right. Do what God's leading us to do. You always have people that don't like what you're doing. Like I'm saying with Joel Osteen, he'll always have people who don't like what he's doing. He'll have some people who just think he is a satanic freak because he's not saying the Bible verses they want him to say, or he's not speaking about something in the dogma, that something in the Bible that they want him to say a certain way. But he moves forward. Like I like that about him. He says he even talks about it. He talks about having a lot of critics. And he's like, and I just keep moving towards God. I keep doing what he wants me to do. That's how the world is. We've got to be prepared for that. Especially, and we learned that as targeted individuals. I've got a peanut gallery of people who, the woman is right now on V2K going, he's right. And the guy's like, whatever, he's a retard. All the time, the targeted individuals with V2K, and even some with just the inner voice synthetic telepathy, you got people, commenting on everything you do. So we better get good at doing what we think is right and not caring about what happens. It's hard. It's hard because you're like, well, I got this important thing that I want to talk about, and that's the priority. So maybe my opinions don't matter. I think they do. I think the way that we believe things, and it's fun. Those and Diane, like seriously, you're entitled to your opinion. And I agree with you on a lot of the stuff you're saying about dogmatic Christianity, especially if you had an attacker like that who was like a narcissist. So none of that was about you or anything like that. Those are good conversations to have. I'm just surprised by how many people really think Joel Osteen is like Satan himself. And I'm not saying you do. I'm saying other people. Some other people have been like, man, he's like a Satanist, and but I watch his sermons, I resonate with them, I get closer to God, I get further away from the mind control. It helps me to get through this stuff. He says, God's got this. A surge is coming when you get pushed back. I mean, he says all these things that exactly correlate with the difficulties, going into the unknown with faith, all these things. And he brings in Bible verses and Bible stories to talk about like what you do when you're not sure what God has for your life, when your path is not mapped out, and you've got to trust God. You got to trust God. And I've seen those things in action that he talks about. I've seen like when I had faith, but I didn't know where I was going, and how it turned into something great where I was able to help people. And it boggles my mind. Like just for anybody to say that guy is bad. I don't get it. I don't get it. Even if you did think maybe he was doing something bad on the side, you watch his sermons, and you get lifted up, and none of that, the stuff that he talks about, none of it could be used for evil, Okay, I've gotten way too far off topic. It's an interesting subject to me now, because so many people don't really like him, and now the wheels are turning in my mind, because I get so much relief in my heart and my faith is boosted, and I'll just shake off this mind control when I watch a sermon and stuff like that. But then I hear like even some targeted individuals saying like, oh, he's bad news. Now I'm even more interested in him, because there is like when you get people doing really good pure stuff, the attacks seem to happen a lot, you know, and in different ways. Like us as targeted individuals, we all get attacked differently. Like some people, like I've seen some targeted individuals that can't even get a live stream up. It's all flickering and freezing, which is done to me sometimes. My attackers bashing my skull, with microwaves. And then it's like they get other targeted individuals that are really remote neural manipulated to like text me at very specific times to make me not trust other people. They do a lot of stuff, but it's interesting how they go after our different personalities sometimes, and we got to be ready for it, guys. And it just kind of makes me think of Joel Osteen, how it's like I was expecting. Let me tell you guys, like when I brought the Joel Osteen videos to YouTube, I was expecting everybody to be like, "That's such a great message. Wow, that brought me closer to," and I didn't get that. Like I got the opposite of it. I know some people like it. A lot of people do. A lot of people like it, and they probably don't say anything. The people who might, have heard something bad about him kind of speak up. I didn't expect that though. Okay, so the AI organization. Let's see. Let's read about this. I got way off track. It's like 7:42. Okay. Google, Facebook, and Neuralink sued for weaponized AI tech transfer. Google, Facebook, Neuralink sued for weaponized AI tech transfer, complicity to genocide in China, and endangering humanity with misuse of AI. Okay, the case summary facts. Let's read this, and I have my tablet open, guys, so I can read y'all's comments. And trust me, like everybody, you can have your opinions and stuff like that, and I'll read them. This isn't something where it's like I'm right and you're wrong. I think that we get to a certain place by people having different views on subjects. So I'm cool with that. Thank you, Native. Native says, I love Joel Osteen. I believe he really does care. Yeah. It seems like it's maybe 50-50 on him. It seems like a lot of people have heard bad stuff about him. It seems like some people really like him. And I guess that's about right. Because what I see, I don't want to make anybody feel bad for not liking him or anything like that. Like, because we're just talking. But I see that people who do really good things, they're always controversial, in different ways. Maybe it doesn't present itself in the same ways. And then it's like the people who do really evil stuff in this world, they stay in the shadows, like these contractors and microwavers, so they can't be judged, right? So nobody even knows to be unhappy with them. But it's become a world when people step up, they instantly become controversial because you can't please everybody, and that seems like, to me, it seems like a conditioning to make it more appealing to be one of these microwave attackers who's not going to get judged, right? They're just going to get a pat on their back from their manager, and you're doing the right thing, and nobody's going to tell them any different because the public hasn't gotten their hands on them, right? Which hopefully someday will. But then it makes all these people like us, we have to step up and step out. And it puts this like, oh man, some people are going to disagree with what I say. It puts this kind of a pressure on walking into the light, and I wonder if that's a conditioning. I wonder if that's a conditioning that the internet and Twitter and YouTube, I wonder if that's a certain part of this master plan to really make people think twice when they're about to tell their truth, and to really make it financially, you can become financially successful if you say things that everybody will get the biggest percentage of likes, And I guess we all know that's obvious. I guess it is conditioning, Charles Hall said, how would that guy know to get that video when he did? Yeah, and that's cool. And I want to read Diana's comment. I'm really not invested much in feelings about him. I just question always and think critically about everything. Yeah, and I do too, Diana. I do too, and never like in any of that. We were just talking about it. So if I said anything, I hope I didn't say anything insulting or anything like that. Like honestly, you can talk about whatever you want. You can have whatever thoughts you want. I just would say this. I'd say look into him more. Maybe check out some of his sermons, and then I'm going to check his background. I haven't found anything. I haven't found anything bad. The only thing bad I found is that he's rich because he's written a lot of books and done a lot. How many people he donates to and stuff like that. And I do know that that flood thing, he couldn't let anybody in because the place was flooded. But a couple of hours later, he did start letting people in there. So that was this huge campaign, and people still think that he didn't let people in there just because he didn't want to. He's just not that type of guy, you know. No, oh, Diana, no. Diana says we often stay in the shadows as TIs to survive. I'm not talking about targeted individuals. No. Don't take that the wrong way. No. I understand. A lot of you guys in chat, like it's no. I was talking about our attackers. I was talking about people who are killing people from the shadows. No. I'm not criticizing any targeted individuals on how they live their life, on how they survive this. Not at all. Please don't get me wrong on that one. I'm not criticizing targeted individuals at all. Mm-mm. Yeah. Nick Torres says, what attacks? The attacks that we're talking about are remote directed energy weapon attacks. These contractors under the NSA, CIA, and DOD, all with different contracts, are hitting us with remote neural weapons and remote directed energy weapons. Pretty much remote neural manipulation, pretty much mind control, plus nervous system torture, and then external microwave hits, all for different reasons, for like research, for putting down whistleblowers, I guess I already said research, so experimentation is the same thing. Many different angles to it. And then these DHS fusion centers, InfraGard, and certain community watch programs are running parallel to this to harass the targeted individual that's being microwaved to death in their homes and everywhere they go, because it's a remote system. They use the infrastructure, they use microwave towers, 5G, satellites to route it all, drones and ground radar and over the horizon radar. And then you have these contractors who maybe have hive mind teams, but some of it's done automated, and they can automate it, or with hive mind teams working with automated systems, use that infrastructure to target that person, that innocent civilian, 24 hours a day, years and years, and it doesn't stop. We haven't gotten it to stop yet. We've defended some of it, attenuated some of it, but we can't get the program to stop, because like all these different contractors globally doing this in every country, experimenting, shooting citizens with directed energy, then harassing them with gang stalking, getting other citizens to sign up with like DHS fusion centers and InfraGard to do vehicular stalking, street theater, stalking around the person's home. And there's ground weapons too, where certain neighbors will get involved and shoot those ground weapons at the targeted individual that's probably also being hit by remote means. And they can hit somebody 24 hours a day wherever they go, because a lot of it's motion compensating. So it's like if my attackers wanted to, they could hit me in the shoulder right here, and they could just keep it there because it's motion compensating technology from like probably over the horizon radar for the external hits. But we're all like all targeted individuals, I think, are tethered to a bidirectional stream of energy like a cell phone. Like so they're starting to turn people into little cell phones, but instead of just sending data to the cell phone, they torture and mind control the citizen. So that's what we're talking about. Yeah, Nick Torres says they use InfraGard and Neighborhood Watch. Mm-hmm. Charles Hall says they control the modulation of the ringing in our head. Yeah. Oh yeah, Diana Pythia says yes. The last guy I met was a Marine too. Yeah, I think that happens a lot. And the sick thing, they call it like love int, where it's like they'll have an ex-girlfriend or something, and they torture and rape the person remotely and surveil them, and they call it like love-in, like it's some little cute thing, and it's not a cute thing. But the point of that, like, so like I think that I was implanted at Ochsner in New Orleans when I was like 12. Diana's maybe think, I don't know if she said, but she said she last dated a Marine, so it might have some connection to her targeting. But that's a good, it's like we're targeted. I don't know if she did, but she said that's my attackers. That was my attackers. I didn't touch anything on my tablet. My attackers are messing with my tablet during my live stream. But anyway, that's many target individuals were pulled into these programs for different reasons. I think with mine, it was just because I had Crohn's disease. I went in for a surgery, and then I got on this road of being in these programs. Some people, it's because they're whistleblowers, because they're really looking into important issues and speaking out on important issues. I think a lot of those people who went to the what was that, the Wall Street thing, where people had tents and everything. A lot of those people, I think, were targeted. Then there's like people who cross paths with, like, they have ex-military boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever, and those people maybe have connections to the program, or their ex-husbands or something like that will target them if there's like a custody battle and things like that. So there's a lot of different reasons that somebody is pulled into the program. Yeah. Diana says, they use neighborhood tactical operations. It's essentially a form of psychological ground ops and domestic terrorism that includes harassment from local authorities. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Charles Hall said they have to give a certain type of concussion. Yeah. They hit the head a certain way. It's like, I think a big way that they do it, unless you have like an implant near your vestibular system, is, and I got to do that article again, the MIT article, electromagnetic field around the head, and then bidirectional stream of photons of some type of electromagnetic energy, which is automated and adaptive, that works through that electromagnetic field, that can go through to certain areas of the brain. It can stimulate, the electromagnetic field can stimulate cranial nerves, and it can also stimulate the vestibular system, giving that tinnitus sound through the cranial nerve stimulation of the brain. Then you get that tinnitus sound going to the inner ear, or V2K, through microwave hearing. But on these integrated weapons platforms, they have different apparatuses from different patents that they'll mix and match, right? They mix and match those things. But I do think the main one that Brian too talks about, the bidirectional stream of energy that's automated and adaptive. I think it can go from the whole electromagnetic spectrum, infrasound and ultrasound. But I think that it works within an electromagnetic field that they're placing around the head through maybe heterodyning two different frequencies to create that magnetic field around the head. But I think the main thing that's the mind control is the bidirectional stream of energy. But I think it has to work through an electromagnetic field around our head. Yeah. Barefoot Sungazer said, I wish I never blew no whistle. I regret it. Should have never taken one video, never mind a million, and one ranting and raving with live streams all over Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. Fucking bad idea. Yeah, but now it's time. Now it's time. Like, everybody's getting targeted. Like, everybody's getting targeted just because maybe they had certain genetics, maybe they're a certain color, maybe they're a certain culture, maybe they're a certain age, maybe they have a certain hair color, maybe it's this or that. So now it's not just, oh, are you looking into 9/11? Are you speaking out about 9/11? It was never just that, but now it's just, oh, that person crossed my path, and I like my attackers, they're in the program. Like, say I crossed their paths and they didn't like me, they can just throw you in it. They don't have to really have a reason. It's become so corrupt, So now is the time to really speak out. So many people are suffering. We're not alone at all. So many people are a victim of this tyranny worldwide, and other tyrannies too. So I think the cool thing, I don't know if this is a cool thing, guys, or a good way to say this. We're definitely not alone, and we're definitely not isolated. It's just like when you're walking around, probably every time you go walking in your city, you see a targeted individual. Probably every time you go out, you're crossing paths with another person going through this. You just don't know it, and they're not speaking out. So the way that this proliferated, there's so many targeted individuals, at least we're not alone, and we know it, you know. It's really tough. There are things that can attenuate it. I just think we're getting closer to where we can bend back on them, where the consumer products and the medical products are coming out. All these kind of bone conducting headphones, and Dave Case is a genius making his CD. People are learning more about Tesla coils and scalar fields and stuff like that. But then there are also going to be ready-made consumer products to maybe clear your electromagnetic field around you. They're going to create these things to give people peace and calm, right? That they already have, but they're going to come out with better consumer products, better medical products that we can then bend back on this, you know? So it's coming to a time where miraculous things can happen. Our world is also getting more corrupt because the parasites are getting frightened and they're clawing even harder. But that's when the miracles come, right? It just feels like a time for great change. So now is the time to speak out, guys. And I hope nobody, like, I was not talking about Target when I said people who stay in the shadow. I was not talking about you guys. I was not talking about anybody who maybe just doesn't want to come and speak out. I was talking about and I point this way because my V2K comes from this way. It's directional. I was talking about them. I was talking about like attackers or gang stalkers who attack from the shadows. I wasn't talking about any real target. And please, I hope y'all, when I'm saying stuff, I'm not trying to attack. And Diana, none of that stuff, none of that negative stuff was about you. I was just thinking about the Joel Osteen thing. So please don't take it as that. I was not. You can like and dislike who you. There's probably people that I dislike who you like, and people that you dislike that I like, and you know, Joel Osteen's just a surprising one to me. He seems so pure. The only thing I can find wrong with him is that he has a ton of money, but it seems like he earned it. You know, seems like he really earned it. He's helped a lot of people. So for me, it's like the only thing I can see about him is that he's really rich, but that's not a crime. You know, what does he do with his money? You know, he may do a lot of great stuff. I'm going to look into it more. I may want to prove him to some of you guys who don't like him. So you'll maybe listen to his sermons. So I may want to prove him to you. Just as I'm going to prove myself to my community, I want to vindicate myself. I'm a good man. You know, this targeting and stuff has messed me up, but I've never done anything really wrong in my life. I think that we need to make that a point in our life of vindicating good people. You know, we need to vindicate good people because I think that the problem is we don't know who to trust. That's one of the biggest problems. You know, the torture and everything and the microwaves blowing up our brains and stuff like that. It's a huge problem. But these problems wouldn't be so big if there wasn't so much deceit and cover-ups. And we don't know good could be evil and evil could be, I don't know if evil could be good, but you know, it's a time of great distrust and great confusion. And so I think vindicating good people should be on our list of to-dos, you know, vindicating each other for what we've been through. You know, that's a big thing for me with these videos. I want to vindicate what you guys are going through, what I'm going through. I want to vindicate us. And that's why it's great to have you guys in chat. And trust me, like, please don't think that I'm like mad or anything like that. We can have disagreements. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that not everybody said, I love Joel Osteen and I'm getting really inspired and I know why it inspired you, Kyle. I'm a little bit disappointed. I'll deal with it and people can have their opinions. People can have their opinions. I think that we should all, it makes me think like there's some people that I really don't like who are celebrities and stuff. And maybe I should look into them a little bit more because Joel Osteen, like I just can't find anything bad about him. All of his stuff is it. Just try a sermon. Try a sermon like God's got this, or what's another one? Faith in the unknown. And I'm going to be doing some BitChute things where I just show those videos and hang out. I think I'm going to see if it works on BitChute. Yeah, I know some people don't like it. I love him. Love the man. I feel if I resonate with him, he has to be good. Like that's my thought. But a lot of you may not know me that well. So you're like, oh, well, what is that? Like, just because he resonates with you, I don't know you from Adam. To me though, I resonate with what he says. So I'm like, there's no way he's bad. There's no way. Anyway, okay, let's get off this. Let's talk about some of this important stuff. So United States District Court, Southern District of California, case number 19 CV 2407 CAB-AHG. Complaint: misuse of artificial intelligence, cybernetics, robotics, biometrics, bioengineering, 5G, and quantum computing technology. And number 2, endangering the human race with the misuse of artificial intelligence technology. This is right on. Thank you so much, Sleeping Beauty. Thank you to other people who brought this into chat. I may just do a short video just on this because I know this was a rambling live stream. So the AI Organization Incorporated, Cyrus A. Parsa, victims of persecution, rape, torture, concentration camps, sex, human and organ trafficking, and organ harvesting in China, Hong Kong, America, and around the world, not limited to democracy activists, Falun Dafa practitioners, Uyghurs, Christians, Tibetans, judges, lawyers, and journalists tortured and killed in China. John Doe's 1-Unlimited. Those are the plaintiffs. Versus Google LLC, Facebook Incorporated, DeepMind Incorporated, Alphabet Incorporated, Neuralink Incorporated, Tesla Incorporated, Larry Page, Sergey Brin, Sundar Pichai, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, CISON, PR Newswire, and John Doe's 1 through 29. Those are the defendants. This is the most significant and important lawsuit of the 21st century, and it impacts the entire world. CEOs and founders Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Sergey Brin, Larry Page, and Sundar Pichai, I'm sorry, did not saying that right, are also named as defendants along with their companies. Case summary facts: endangering humanity with the misuse of artificial intelligence, complicity in aiding in physical genocide inside of China by transferring AI technology, engaging in cultural genocide of humanity, and controlling and programming the human race by social engineering via AI coding and AI algorithmic biometric manipulation. This is phase 1 of first lawsuit. We are open for support at a global level. We have a network of thousands around the world and tens of thousands in China who are witnesses and have been harmed in China from the defendant's technology and data transfer. The following are federal case compliance summary facts extracted from the official document filed in San Diego, California. To find out details of financial, personal, and corrective behavioral demands, you may access the case in the federal court database. Number 1, endangering and threatening all world citizens and humanity by misusing and weaponizing artificial intelligence, quantum computing, robotics, 5G, machines, smartphones, smart homes, smart cities, IoTs. What's an IoT, y'all? Diana, you say, can anyone see the source of the link? I'm on my phone. They broke my computer. It's so tiny. I'm going to put the description for this, for anything that I show today. I'm going to put it in the description once the live stream goes up, so you can get it then. It's theaiorganization.com. So go to theaiorganization.com. Theaiorganization.com. So let's keep reading here. Yeah, Barefoot Sungator said I would kick them all in the shins. I'd kick them all somewhere else. Because it hurt them. Hey, Nicholas is in chat. Hey, Nicholas. Nick Torres says, the catch today is why you are looking for something bad in people. I try to find the good in everybody. Yeah, you should try and find the good in everybody. But Diane's right to be critical. Like, Diana's right. We need to be critical thinkers. We can't just love everybody. But Joel Osteen's one for me where I have critically thought about it, and it kind of goes, but Diana's right. We got to be critical thinkers. You can't just trust everybody. You can't just be like, oh, well, they look like a nice person, so that's a good thing about them, and I'll trust them. So it's not about like not finding the good in people. It's about, do I trust this person? Do I want to listen to everything they say and incorporate it into my life without questioning it? And we got to find a balance, right? We got to find a balance between looking for the good in people and taking good things out of what they're doing, and then not trusting them completely, like a cult member. We don't ever want to be that. And that's one thing though. It's like, if there is something wrong with Joel Osteen, like people say, I look at his sermons and I get a lot of good out of them, right? So for the time being, it stops there. I don't want to be Joel Osteen or anything like that. His sermons like really hit me hard. But I think y'all are both right. You should look for the good in people, but also be critical thinkers about things, especially as targeted individuals. There's so much deception, guys. Like, there's so much deception. There is things that are going to look good and they are going to be evil. For me, what I do with those things that maybe they look cool, but there's like evil, I just take the good out of them. And then I know when there's something bad entering my mind or something like that, and I make sure to shut it out. But y'all are both right. We look for the good in people, critically think about people, And Diana, I would like, or is there some like, I guess not preachers, but people that you like that really inspire you? I'd like to know, like, I'd like to hear about those people. So there's some people that really just, they wrap up. It's like that's their job, is to like think of these things that inspire people and put them out in a kind of a package deal that you can look at in 20 minutes or something like that. That works for me. There's some very good writings by wise people and throughout the centuries, but sometimes it's just like I don't have enough attention span. So it's just something really good for me now. But anybody who finds inspiration, we also need to do that sometimes, guys. That's one thing I really try and do, because like the mind control, the remote neural manipulation, how bad my brain's been microwaved. Sometimes I can't, like, I'll start speaking, but I can't speak as detailed as I want. And so sometimes it's like I'm like, oh, this inspired me. I want to bring this to other targeted individuals. We need to do that. Like, this book really inspired me, or this preacher, or this just this speaker really inspired me, and be giving those to people. If you feel like, oh man, I can't even think, I can't really say anything that great or inspiring. I feel that way a lot. I've been under a lot of stress. It's like my mind is just not, I'm not communicating as well as I want. I'm working on that. Like, we're all working on that. But like that's when I'm like, oh, well, I'm reaching for things that God has used to inspire me, and I want to give them to y'all. Anything and everything. Throwing the kitchen sink and spaghetti against the wall and everything. It's how I'm going to do things. Other people are more precise. They want to wait until they got a precise thing. I'm the opposite. Like, I'm going to make some mistakes. I wouldn't say that. I'm trying to think of something that like completely didn't work, but I can't really think of anything. Like, all my defenses have worked pretty well. I'm trying to think of one where I just threw spaghetti against the wall and it really didn't work. I can't really, there's nothing, everything kind of worked. I can't think of anything. All right, let's keep going. There's some things that didn't work as well as I wanted them to, and I'm tempted to say the ZVS driver, but it does work. Like, it works very well. It's just it didn't work. I guess it didn't work as well as it didn't like just blow this out of the water, right? Okay, so we'll take that as an example, but it still does really work well. So I don't know about that example. Okay, let's move on. I'll think of something later. I'm sure there's been something that I've like said, oh, well, let's try this, and it didn't really work well. Okay, so maybe you guys can think of something that I put out, like some defensive thing that just sucked. I'm sorry, Barefoot. Barefoot Sungator says, they have been hitting me so hard for the last few days, my fingers are tingling. Yeah. Right now my back is sore. Like they're hitting me like in my upper back. I can feel the heat right here. They're shooting a stream of energy to the back of my neck, and they do that because it hurts. It makes my back sore, but it's also conducting those electromagnetic frequencies up to the vestibular system. So they're like shooting this beam right here. Let me see. I usually feel heat all around my head. And I think that's the electromagnetic field that's constantly around my head. PA1 says, with unique identifiers, UIDs, and the ability to transfer data over a network without requiring human to human or human to computer interaction. Yeah. Okay, that's actually one. Barefoot Singer says, your tinfoil video worked wonders for me, Kyle. Tinfoil, it does work in case of an emergency, but like I don't use it anymore because it can be used against you. Like if you have it against your skin, your attackers can turn you into an antenna because it works as both reflective, it reflects electromagnetic frequencies, and it also absorbs. So be careful with that. Don't put it against your skin. And there's this getlambs.com, which you can get a beanie that's like lamb skin, and it blocks out like 100% of Wi-Fi. I would get one of those beanies. Look, I'm gonna pull it up right now, and I'll come right back to this. I just want to pull up this website. Ryan Slack TI showed me this website, and I've got to try some of the clothing from it. This is really good, guys. I'll also put it in the description. And they have this beanie that can cover your ears and everything, and it's made of lamb skin. And the testing on it, the testing of how it blocks electromagnetic frequencies is like incredible. It's incredible. And Ryan's really smart. Any of you guys know Slack TI from the chats? He's just a really smart guy. Get lambs. Let's see if I can. I think that's it. Get lambs. Getlambs.com. I want to show you all this beanie. I'm thinking of getting this beanie, but I already got the oh, it's menswear. It's just menswear. It's not just menswear. This is for everybody. Maybe maybe it's marketed towards men. Check this out, guys. Okay, I'm gonna share the screen here. Where's my Get Lambs? Okay, check this out. Getlambs.com. Now they have T-shirts. My computer's freezing up. Man. Oh. See, electromagnetic waves, oh. Okay. Free radical damage explains the increased cancer risks. Long-term, over 10 years, use of mobile phones increase the risk of intracranial tumors. Electromagnetic radiation may induce oxidative stress, damage sperm, nuclear DNA, and eventually reduce sperm quality. These factors negatively affect male fertility. I think there's this is the men's apparel, but there's women's apparel on the other sites. Look at this. So, okay, it's $50 for that beanie. It's really expensive. 99% wireless radiation blocked. Tested and certified by leading international laboratories at Met Labs, Baltimore, USA. You can download the reports. Percentage of radiation block: 5 gigahertz, 3 gigahertz, 2 gigahertz, 1 gigahertz, 700 millihertz. I wonder, well, no, we're in the 10 kilohertz, 20 kilohertz range. Anyway, this blocks Wi-Fi like almost 100%. This getlambs.com. They got shirts, they got a beanie, they got underwear. I think there's a site where there's women's clothing too. I'm not sure. But this is what I'm talking about right here. Instead of that tinfoil thing, and I know you don't have a lot of money, Barefoot, but that would be better. This would probably be better than that aluminum foil thing. The aluminum foil thing is a thing of the past that I had to use as emergency. but we have better things. But I understand it's cheap, so sometimes you got to use those things in an emergency. So GitLambs, just check it out, gitlambs.com. I think it would be really worth it to get one of these because the material is, it just can block it. I use the less CMF stuff and less CMF cap and the headgear and stuff like that, but I think this might even be better. It's like lambskin, pure lambskin. Okay, so let's go back to the article. This is very, very important, and I keep getting off track. Okay, so mixed reality, nanotechnology, cloning, gene editing, cybernetics, bioengineering, and the creation of a digital AI brain linked to Google search engine with the use and extraction of humanity's biometrics data, digital biometric codes, including facial, voice, health, organ, neural network, and body recognition technology, thus controlling humanity's thoughts, actions, biology, biometrics, brain neural pathways, the human body's neural networks that reprograms all human beings through social engineering and biodigital social programming without their consent, knowledge, understanding, or free will. Extracting humanity's digital footprints in breach of the Nuremberg laws, FTC Act 15 USC 41 through 58, and engaging in irresponsible and unsafe research and development of artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence that can enslave or kill off humanity or give the power to the defendants to enslave humanity in numerous ways on the 5G and other developing networks. Super important court case here. To negligence and complicity in persecution and genocide of millions in China for Articles 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the Genocide Convention and 18 USCA 1091. Genocide not limited to democracy activists, Falun Dafa practitioners, Christians, Uyghurs, Tibetans, journalists, judges, lawyers, and academics inside of China. Transferring and providing to China's government and its companies knowledge, data, capabilities, and technology to weaponize artificial intelligence, quantum computing, machines, robots. They're saying Elon Musk and Facebook and Google transferred and provided China this technology because China's working on it on its own. Like China has a setup just like America where they have like a DARPA and a Pentagon and then those agencies, and then they have contractors under like an NSA, DOD. China's got that system going on and it's doing this. Now from that research, from that torture, then these technologies have then trickled out to the owners of Facebook, Google, Elon Musk, and stuff like that. I feel like, well, maybe there will be a lot of discovery within this, but Google in America did not send China this technology to torture their citizens. But hopefully there will be a lot of discovery in the case and a lot of these connections will come out. But it was the military industrial complexes of these nations. Then it trickles down to people like Elon Musk and Google and Facebook in that way. It's not the other way around. So to weaponize artificial intelligence, quantum computing, machines, robotics, 5G, biometrics, cybernetics, bioengineering, IoTs, computer vision, and human trafficking, and human tracking technology, and technology that can give China access to artificial general intelligence or artificial superintelligence that endangers the world and all of humanity, including AI weaponry for assassination. In violation of Breach of Arms Control and Disarmament Act 22 USC 2551 and Foreign Assistance Act of 1961 as amended, 22 USC 2151, 22 U.S. Code 2752, coordination with foreign policy, 22 U.S. Code 2753, eligibility for defense services or defense articles, 22 U.S. Code 2754, purposes for which military sales or leases by the United States are authorized, report to Congress, Arms Control and Disarmament Act of 1961. 22 U.S.C. 2551, Atomic Energy Act of 1954. Yeah, I mean, maybe a lot of discovery will come out in the court case, but China's developing these weapons, and it's not like Google and Facebook and Elon Musk have provided these technologies to China. I guess it's probably not saying that. China has its own weapons programs with neuro weapons and directed energy weapons, like the China's Department of Defense and their version of the NSA and their version of the CIA. It has all these weapons, and it has international contractors in there. Probably some of the international contractors are some of the contractors that manufacture and do experimentation with the weapons in America. So it's like that's how you know this thing is global, and it's not like China versus Russia versus America. You know, it's all tied in together because some of these contractors that are manufacturing and using the weapons in America are also stationed in China and Russia too. But then they tell the people that are working on them, yeah, we got to beat Russia, we got to beat China and get better weapons. I guess maybe that's not what they're saying, that Google and Facebook and Elon Musk providing to China and Chinese companies AI, health data, and biometric technology used for surveillance, tracking, hunting, quarantine, capture, arrest, torture, concentration camps, organ harvesting, and organ trafficking that contributed to the death of Chinese citizens, including Falun Dafa practitioners, I'm not saying this right, Uyghurs, democracy activists, Christians, Tibetans, judicial representatives, professors, journalists, and minority groups, not limited to any gender, race, political affiliation, faith, or persons residing in China. Same violation of fact numbers 2 and 3. Misrepresenting to the world and deceiving the US on Google's activities in China and their technology transfers that contributed to China's quantum AI advancements, surveillance, abuse, torture, concentration camps, and murder of its own citizens. Same violations of facts number 1, 2, and 3. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to put this in the description so you guys can read all of these, all of the charges being brought against them. Let's read this. All charges from 1 to 26 have led to physical genocide in China, spearheaded by the Chinese Communist government, and all charges from 1 through 16 are in breach and violations of penal code stated in facts 1, 2, and 3. All charges have and are leading to cultural genocide in America and around the world, endangering all of humanity to enter a stage of cultural and physical genocide with the interconnection of artificial intelligence, 5G, robotics, machines, drones, smart cities, as it pertains to negligence and misuse by the main platforms and companies of Google, Facebook, Alphabet, DeepMind, Neuralink, John Doe's, and their leadership. This does not exclude other players such as Amazon and Microsoft from guilt, and the very many Chinese companies who were trained by these Western companies. That's a good lawsuit. I'm glad that he's doing this. I'm glad that he's doing this. I just think that like these companies get their consumer technology and things from the research done by the military industrial complexes of these nations. So I think this maybe has it a little bit backwards. They think that like Google and Facebook is providing this quantum computing technology to the government of China, but China already has that. Like China already had that. It's all trickled down to these. So I wonder how that'll play out. Maybe there will just be a lot of discovery, and then they will find that these companies are liable for using this technology. I thought that's what it was going to be when I first saw this, that it would be that these companies have got this consumer technology based off of the torture of a bunch of citizens, but he's like saying that they actually are doing some of the torture. Okay, well, I need to look into it more, but that's very important. I'll put it in the description, for this live stream. All right, guys, let me read some of y'all's chats before I go. I've got a psychiatrist appointment at like 1, and I got to run some errands and stuff like that. Hey, Burjeet Sanders says, Dragon, I try it, but I am 2 years alone with demon people who ask for my death every day. Yeah. Tansy Tees, Virgie Sanders, it's a hard task, but the best things in life are worth fighting for. Just block them out and do your own thing. You deserve to do you and be you. Yeah. Yeah, like is that Tansy? I like what you said the other night. You got to own yourself. You got to take responsibility for those things you can take responsibility for in your life. And you're going to find, don't be the victim, be the victor. Have a victor mentality. Have a victor mentality. I feel you need God for that, because this victimizes us, right? We feel victimized. But we need a victor mentality, and then God can work with that. If we have a victim mentality, God can't really work with that. When we do brave things, courageous things, speak out, do what we want to do in life, break through barriers, God can work a whole lot of miracles with that. A whole lot of miracles. Yeah, Diana 50 says, yeah, the smear campaigns are just beyond. Yeah. I have no idea what some of my neighbors think about me, but they look like they hate me and want to kill me. Barefoot Songgator says, I'm going to find a way to post that video took talking to the EMF holograms that were all over my apartment last night and in my cab. Maybe talk about it. Talk about what happened, but maybe don't post a video where you're talking to the unless you can see the holograms in the video. Maybe this is just a suggestion. Like, you may just want to make a video talking about the experience, but maybe not show the video where you're like talking to them. But I mean, do what you think. Do what you think, Barefoot. Just get the information out. Hey, Nicholas says they keep hitting my ears hard this morning. It's super annoying. Trying to ignore it as best I can. Yeah, I'm trying to ignore my back pain right now. Yeah, Tansy. Hey, Dragon Lord. I think I read something from Dragon Lord. Yeah, Dragon Lord, look into this. I hope he doesn't get targeted. Yeah, Tansy says it's his first time in a chat room like this. Well, I'll be doing some more chats, and I'll do some more some panels and stuff. I was just doing this like because I have to stay up for my psychiatrist appointment, and I was like, this is probably more useful than just zoning out on video games. Peter Gabriel's awesome. His music really unentrains me. Virgie, Peter Gabriel's awesome. I like Sledgehammer. I like I can't remember all the songs, but In Your Eyes, obviously. In Your Eyes is like one of the best. I think of sometimes I think of romantic stuff, but mostly I think of God through God's eyes. When he sings In Your Eyes, I think of like, how does God see us? Going through this, God counts every tear that you have about this. Like, he counts every tear. He knows your pain and stuff like that. And sometimes it seems like he's not there and he's not answering. And some people may be on the track of like, why did you do this to me, God? This is evil men. Somehow free will is needed in the universe. Don't blame God for this. This is evil men who don't believe in God. When people believe in God in the right way, right? There's a right way to believe and to act in your faith. When people do that, amazing things can happen. Civilizations can be born that are just so peaceful and great. And I feel like our founding fathers had that belief. They may have been, some of them may have been Masons, like George Washington may have been a Mason, stuff like that. But there were enough of them with a tradition of the right kind of faith in wanting to help people that it turned out really good. And I may not know everything about our country's origins. I know that wiping out the Indians was horrible. I just want to see something good in our history and try and enjoy that and appreciate it and try and bring it out into this. Hey, Wayne, how you doing? I was just about to close up, man. Surprised you're up so early, man. Yeah, Wayne's like, shh, I'm trying to sleep. Hey, Colity says, what's being done to bring this outside of YouTube? Tons of stuff, Colity. Like, I'm just making this YouTube video this morning, and I'm about to end the live stream. But there's a lot of rallies and stuff like that. Targeted Justice. Check out Targeted Justice's website. Targeted America. Remember, I'm just one targeted individual talking about stuff on YouTube. I'm not affiliated with any organizations. I help them. I want to help them and be a part of good things that they do. But keep that in mind. It can give you a lot of hope that I'm just one little TI doing this. And there's tons of stuff. What are we, you know, when you're saying like what else is being done outside of YouTube? What are we working on? You know, what are we working on? Let's do that on the next panel. Let's talk about how we can bring this outside of YouTube. But just remember that I'm one targeted individual just talking about stuff. That can be very hopeful because any targeted individual can do this, you know. And we're bringing it out. Like there's going to be another rally in like Washington, I think, in, I don't know when it is. I think it's in God, I don't know. And then I know Dr. Matthew Aaron and I think Freedom for Targeted Individuals, they're planning some something with local government. I think something in local government in Maryland, or maybe something in local government for California, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, Colty. This is what I'm doing this morning. I'm talking about this court case, and I'm also talking about the bone conducting headphones. Because like what I really want to work on, because we're all suffering so dearly, and some of you people have, some of you guys, you targeted individuals, you have children who are being targeted. So one of my main things is like finding defenses so we can relieve the suffering, we can think clear, and we can do better stuff outside of YouTube and on activism front and everything like that. That's very important. Hey, thanks, PA. PA says, great live stream, Colin, everyone in chat. Okay, Bear, do you have that? You have that set up? You have Discord set up? Colty says, rallies have been going on for years. Perhaps you and others can get together. You have over 2,000 subscribers, so you're more than one person. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that, and it took 6 years. It took 6 years to get like 2,500 subscribers, Colty. I understand. I understand. We're hitting some walls and stuff, but the rallies really haven't been going on for years. The rallies have really been going on for like 2 years. The rallies have really seriously been going on for like 2 years. And you're starting to see, right, like at the California, the Sacramento rally, it was like 100 people there. And then the next set of rallies, the TI Day, the TI Day rallies, there were like 200 people. I think like 200 people in Oregon. There were like maybe in another rally, there was like 200 people. So the next rally, you're going to see like 300 people. They're growing. It has to build up, right? It has to build up. And a lot of targeted individuals have to see that the numbers are growing. So they'll get courage to go to those too. There's a lot of other stuff going on, Colty. Like, we just got to keep talking about it. Like, y'all know my main thing. I've said it a million times. Robert Duncan, John McAfee, and then somebody else, I think Barry Trower, they all said, somebody said, how do we end this? How do we end the targeting? They said, keep talking about it. So, I mean, to you guys who maybe y'all are just like, this guy just talks all the time and does nothing. This is doing something. Talking about it, getting things set up. Dr. Horton's had court cases. But I need to distribute some information so all targeted individuals can know what's happening, you know, and plus, you know, I just want to talk about the issue so people can be aware of it. We can get our morale up and everything like that. I think that the thing that's closest to happening is Dr. Matthew Aaron was going to talk to some local government, either in Maryland or California. And there were maybe going to be some new laws being made. It's happening, but the world's so corrupt. You know, the world is getting more and more corrupt. A general in Iran was just killed by our president. So there's probably going to be a war in Iran, and people are going to be very, very distracted by. I hope there's not a war. I hope a war doesn't happen from it. But the next Iranian general seemed to be talking about war. You know. Yeah, Future Knowledge says, now you understand my videos about Google. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I know that Google has this mind reading technology, Facebook, but it trickles out from the military industrial complex, you know. Yeah, Tansy says, Future Knowledge, thank you for your videos. Everybody check out Future Knowledge's channel, Wayne Morris's channel. Wayne has an eggplant and a squirrel farting, or chipmunk farting. All right, Diana Pythia says, much love and blessings of safety and protection for you, Tansy. That's so sweet of you to say. Great to have encouragement. Yeah, thank you for coming, Diana. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Oh, really? Tansy says, Kyle Dragonlord is my son and knows he's been targeted his whole life. It's nice. It's not. It must be nice for him to have his mom who knows he's targeted. My mom knows I'm targeted, but she's like the only one. She's the only one in my family who knows. Nicholas says, look up Neurophone. I'm reverse engineering it as part of my defense research. Oh, that's awesome. Cool. He says, any forum to discuss medical issue. For example, I've had unexplained rashes and other things, and so have my kids. I think it's from things they are doing. Any doctor, lawyer on board. Barefoot Sungazer set up a Discord. I'd say the rashes are probably, you know, some people would say it's from external hits, but you know, it could be a microwave to the skin externally. And with that, what I would really suggest, Colity, this could help even if it's remote neural manipulation, creating that sensation in that area, and then the rash through your nervous system and through your kid's nervous system. You really, for your kids, what the best thing to do, I think, and I was talking because Autumn's kids are also being targeted. And so this is a very serious thing. And it's hard to get any headgear on them or anything like that. You don't want to do that to your kids, but you can get some really good grounding blankets. Really look into grounding stuff that you can put where they sleep, where your children sleep, and they should just be able to lay on the grounding blanket or something like that. And it's going to stop the conduction on their skin. It's going to change the way that their body reacts to being hit by this stuff. It's so horrible. You know, they're just attacking entire families. We all knew it, but I'm trying to think, grounding in case of an emergency, Colity, and your children are getting hit really hard, have some ice packs to put on their head. If you cool down the body, all this stuff hitting somebody, it's going to have less of an effect. If you cool the head, it's going to cool the whole nervous system of the body. It's going to change the way that the body reacts to directed energy weapons. What I'd really look into is grounding. Really ground. Get your children to ground. There's some things that you can even insert into their shoes. Like you get some rubber insoles. And I would say the grounding blanket, something like that, or grounding mats that your kids can sit on maybe when they're watching TV or whatever. Does anybody else in chat have any good ideas for defenses when it's a child being targeted? Yeah, Diana Pithy says the rallies are growing. I agree. It's a recent phenomenon with the past several years. It's growing exponentially. Hopefully, yeah, it's growing. Every time there's a rally, there's like 100 extra people, but that's going to happen exponentially. So probably you're going to see at these upcoming rallies like 500 people or something like that. Then there's going to be thousands. So there's growing awareness about this. I don't know where it's headed. We're dealing with contractors who are, you know, you have to have clearance to go and use these integrated directed energy weapon systems, and the public doesn't know about it. So we're dealing with people with a lot of money and a lot of power, and everybody's, you know, doing the best they can. I don't know. I've been targeted for so long I can barely think, and I'd love to give you all perfect answers and just say the perfect things. I just try my best. Yeah, Kim Wallace says, yes, we must stand up and speak the truth about this program. It's the best thing I can think of, guys, right now, is to get as many defensive things as we can, reduce our suffering. Everybody has to speak up. We have to rush this thing. It's not like if you're waiting for an organization to just fix this and have that one court case that's going to do this, you're going to be waiting forever. We all have to rush this. We all have to get channels. We all have to do social media. We all have to go to rallies. We all have to make rallies. We all have to do meetups in our states. We all have to start speaking out. And tons of targeted individuals are speaking out, but I'm just saying, some of these organizations, they're people with great intentions, but not a lot of resources. So it's like, I think a lot of targeted individuals are like, oh, when's targeted justice going to end this? But Midge is extremely targeted and hit with neuroweapons, and her body's burned. She doesn't have a ton of energy just to do everything. So we've got to see this realistically. We all got to jump up and think of our own ideas, right? You know, you got to think of something that you can do to put in. That's what I'm doing here, you know, is I'm just like, I'm going to talk about this topic. I'm going to talk about what's going on with me with my targeting. But I'm not like, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what's going to stop the program. I just know that the more awareness that we get out, that public awareness and public dissent can stop any law or any crime, right? And we're dealing with crime, right? Y'all have, I mean, some of you guys in chat, and it's just like, y'all have kids that are being hit with directed energy weapons. You know, I have parents that are being hit with directed energy weapons. I'm being hit with directed energy weapons. So this is a crime, but any kind of public dissent, when it builds big enough, mainstream media is going to be forced to report it if they want to have any credibility on any story in the future. So we've just got to keep building it up, and then God's going to take it from there. We're going to see like court cases being won, lawyers running in. You know, I really think that stuff's going to happen. I just don't know exactly how it's going to happen. I know what we got to do, though, and it's what Kim said. We've all got to speak out about this and just spread awareness. And that's going to be what John McAfee said, is when there's a fire in a movie theater, what do? You scream fire. And then everybody automatically, instinctively goes to the exits, right? Like the problem with targeting is that it's like agencies that are very, very powerful. They have these specific, like top secret clearances for these integrated weapon systems. You know, they're able to do this with an infrastructure remotely, as well as neighbors and stuff like that. It's a very, very powerful system that has decided that our lives are forfeit. They've decided that our lives are such forfeit that they get people in our communities to think we're the evil people and totally dismiss the fact that we're being hit with microwaves, you know. So it's a very, very dark, powerful principality doing this. We need to get with God. We need to use as many defenses as we can. We got to just keep getting awareness out there. You know, Ella's doing some great shows where she's bringing on people who know the law. Derek is too, with that lawyer, the lawyer Schumann, Ray Schumann. He's taken 10 cases. So you might, Coley, you might want to look into contacting Ray Schumann. I heard, though, that he's taken 10 cases that not directed energy weapons. He's taking cases of just targeted individuals that are gang stalked. So maybe if you're getting hit with directed energy weapons and you're gang stalked, maybe he would take your case based on the gang stalking, and it could help you build some awareness about what's happening to you. But Ray Schumann has taken like 10 cases. He's like raising money for his law firm or something. He may have already got that money, and now he's going to do the 10 cases. We're going to see some movement, guys. We're going to see some movement, but I think the best thing we can do is just keep pushing information out. Keep pushing information out. Keep pushing information. That's what I'm doing. Now, there are some people that are specifically working on court cases, but we all just need to do our little angle, what we see where we can fit in, and then we do something else. There's so much to do. There's so many angles of this. Like if you maybe just don't know the technology, then you can do a video on spirituality. And I think that's what I'm going to do to play us out. I'm going to promote this other YouTube channel, and she really gets into scripture and Bible verse. So I'm going to play that on the way out. I'll be doing more panels and looking up and seeing what I'll keep more in touch with what's happening you know, what's happening in court cases and everything like that, so I can bring that to you guys. We all just really need to speak out. We just need to keep speaking out. I think that public awareness has to be built before these people that are doing this program will say, oh, we can't do this anymore. Too many people know about this. They don't care that some of the public knows about it. They'll target them, you know. So it has to be a groundswell, this exponential groundswell of getting this information out, you know. Oh, Wayne already left? Nicholas Hamlin said, Neurophone is an advanced bone conducting like device. Its output can drive an antenna and not need headphones. Okay. Well, dude, we're talking about the bone conducting headphones. I'm going to get us a. Yeah. He says, does Paul Harvey ring a bell to anyone? They put that on my computer and I don't know why. Yeah, I like Paul Harvey. Paul Harvey was like from way, way back in the day, right? He was like way, way back in the day. Like he was on the radio like in the 1980s or so, or from the 1960s to the 1980s. Why would they put Paul Harvey on your computer? Paul Harvey was pretty wholesome. Like he was a wholesome dude. Like he always talked about like, you know, fighting for freedom and stuff like that. Doesn't seem like something that your attackers would want you to listen to. Hey, did I say hey to you, Badger? Hey, Honey Badger. Yeah, later, Wayne. Look, I'm going to play us out with this other channel because I really want to promote her channel. And then I got to go, guys. But I'll be back on soon. Oh, I'm way behind the chats. Yeah, I did. Badger, I did share that petition. I gave it to Stacy, so I don't know who she sent it to. Yeah, Tansy says, Kyle, we are going to see some movement because we are going to make it happen. That's damn straight. Damn straight. Thank you, Kim. Kim says, Kyle, you're an inspiration to me. You guys are an inspiration to me. Yeah, you guys are really an inspiration to me. We can do this. We're closer every day. We really gotta get with our faith and get with God, because sometimes I just don't know exactly how it's going to play out. We need court cases and stuff like that, but it's like at the point that it's at, this is national security. Our murder is national security. So any court, they can just say national security, we can't talk about this. Or they can give the targeted individual a settlement and say, and give them a gag order, right? Even if you have the implant in your hand and you show it to the judge can then say, oh, this is national security. None of this court case can be released, right? So that's what we're dealing with. So we're going to have to push on a public awareness front so that then those court cases, the judge won't be able to say it's national security because people already know that it's happening, right? This is the Berlin Wall. You know, I just say that metaphor. This is the Berlin Wall, and there's a lot of people chipping at it, but it's a big wall, and it's eventually going to fall. It's going to fall. This technology is not going to disappear, but we just keep talking about it. You know, we just keep talking about it, keep talking about it, keep gathering, keep empowering ourselves. I wish I had specifics. You know, I'm working on so many things with things that I want to talk about in the videos, defenses. I'm spreading myself thin, right? The thing about like more and more targeted individuals speaking out is you'll have targeted individuals who can specifically work on defenses, targeted individuals that can specifically work on spiritual information, targeted individuals that can specifically work on legal information. Right now we have it to where there's not really enough targeted individuals speaking out to where we can be specialized. And that's been a thing that's almost ripped my mind apart. Like, oh, well, I got to talk about spirituality. I got to talk about defense. I got to talk about legal stuff, which I know nothing about. I got to talk about like, oh, what's going on. It's too much. We need more people coming out with their specialty. God gave you a specialty. This is a time for speaking out. There's no reason why you shouldn't be speaking out. You're being murdered. being murdered by criminals. The more that you stay isolated, the more they're going to kill you, the less probability of ending this stuff that we have. And God gave you some talent, something you're good at, that you can take this targeting, what's happening to you, and you can speak to people. The more that all targeted individuals do that, the more that target individuals will be freed up to speak on specialized subjects. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like a lot of targeted individuals are trying to cover a lot of different things, and it kind of spreads this thing. Let me promote this targeted individuals channel, and I'll be back on soon, guys. We'll do a panel. I don't know what I'm gonna do this week. I'll figure out something good. I'll figure out something good for this week, and we'll do something. But bone conducting headphones, I'm gonna try them out, and let's play this. Y'all might not be able to hear it because my attackers messed with my my audio. Let's just try. I think it's a short video. We'll just play it, and you guys check out her channel if it'll pull up on my computer. And it's not pulling up. Let's see. Okay, I'll have it ready for next time, guys. My attackers are hacking into my computer and just freezing up things. I'll have it ready for next time. I love you guys. What do you want, Barefoot Sungazer? Yeah, okay, Barefoot Sungazer, you're saying they're hacked in your computers and your phones. My attackers are too. They're right now hacked into my computer, my phone, and my tablet. What I do is I get virus software for your computer, run it. If they're hacked into it, turn off your computer and turn it back on, restart it, do all those things, and it usually gets them out of there for a second. For me, it could be a psyop, and then with my phone, if they're hacking my phone, I turn it off, back on. It's a simple thing, but you're not going to be able to get them out of your, unless you get a Stingray device. You can get a Stingray device to put around your phone, and you can probably keep them out that way. But the best thing that I found is just restarting things, like restarting the program, closing all the windows, restarting your tablet, restarting your computer. Do that. You're not going to be able to get them out forever unless you have some kind of special thing, because they can get in with radio waves. They can send a remote radio signal to your, to basically your computer, your hardware in there, your motherboard, and then they can control it from there. They can do things from there. So I just don't think there's anything where you can get them out permanently. You got to just try and, reset things, turn off things, turn them back on, and then try and keep going as much as you can. Try not to make it a big deal in your head. Try and just like, oh, they hacked into my computer, I'm just going to turn it off and then turn it back on. And don't get pissed about it, because if you get pissed about it, they're going to keep doing it. They're going to see an emotional need, a justification to keep doing that thing. So what you want to do is, like, if they're hacking my phone, I'm just like, okay, turn my phone off and turn it back on, kind of get them out of there, and then just keep going. And then after a while, if you just keep doing that, they're going to be like, oh, well, they just keep turning off and turning back on their stuff. It's not really bothering them. They keep going about their business, and then they'll eventually stop doing it as much. That's what I found with my with the hacking that my attackers do. Just try it and see. Maybe I can get somebody on here. I can find somebody who has more knowledge about virus software and everything like that, and maybe they can tell us like a way that you could keep them out. But I haven't found a way to keep my attackers from hacking into my stuff. I kind of just move forward, I turn it off and then turn it back on, and I just keep going. And it seems like if they can't get to me emotionally, if I'm like, okay, I knew they were going to do that, then they really can't justify it as much. Then they'll just work on, torturing me really bad. All right, guys, I love you guys. I'll see y'all on the next one. I'll be trying to think. I was supposed to read an article on this live stream, so I might do a little video this week reading that article. And please send me anything by email. Any important stuff that's going on in the TI community, I get so many emails, but send me an email and be like, urgent, you need to make a video about this. This is something that's going on outside of social media. It's something that all TIs need to know about. Like if it's a rally or if it's a court case or something that you think we need to get out there, please send it to me or bring it to chat and we can go through it. All right, guys, I love y'all. Just stay strong, stay courageous, get with God. Number one, get with God. You need your faith in this. There's a creative force, a force for life flowing through everything on the outside edges of the universe that we don't even know about. It prefers the fight for life. Men have become evil on this earth and they've made some big messes, huge messes. That's understating it. That's understating it. But God will help you to fight for life if you hook into that power, stay connected to good, and believe that even when things are huge and they seem like they can't, none of it could go good, have faith in those situations. Go into the unknown with faith. God will reward that. There will be miracles. When you have a spirit of victory and faith, you'll have miracles. No victimhood and no this can't. We've got to believe. We've got to believe with all the positivity that we can. You guys can't imagine from 6 years ago or 7 years ago how much better things are, how much more people understand this stuff and don't completely call me crazy when I talk about it. How many more of you guys are standing up and speaking out, and other targeted individuals in court cases and all this stuff going on? It is 100 million times more hopeful than it was, back then. The solutions, we've got options now, right? We've got many options. The bone conduction headphones are just another in a list of options that we have to try to mix and match things that you can reduce your suffering, and even your children's suffering if they're being targeted also. But all right, guys, I love y'all. I'll definitely see you on the next one. Y'all wish me luck at my psychiatrist appointment. I don't know what I'm going to talk to her about. I guess I'm just going to talk to her about Christmas or whatever. All right, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for coming.